Sairam, thank you all so much for joining us today on the auspicious occasion of Avatar Declaration Day. We'll be following the agenda as sent in the email. And just a gentle reminder to please be on mute throughout the session. We'll be starting off with 3 ohms.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananam Tvam Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Mupamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvannoti Bisida Sadhanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Birvajinivati Dhinama Vitrayavatu Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sairam, now Kathy, go ahead.
Sairam, now we'll be having the SSSE presentation by, which will be conducted by Sister Satya, our education coordinator. Over to you, Satya. Sairam.
Sairam, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah.
Sairam, everyone. For Avatar Declaration Day for Swami, as a part of the SSC children, we have about 10 children in our class. We have been working on Swami's life application, which is Satya Dharma Shanti Prema Ahimsa. We have been working on 2 of the life applications for this last month. One is love, the other one is non-violence. So we did a small activity together on love. That was mainly to say that we want to see God in everybody, so that when you see God in everybody, you love everyone equally. We did a small drawing thinking that the entire universe is contained within a tree. The main core part of the tree being the root is Swami himself, who is the creator, and the branches and the leaves of the roots are all us who came out of him. Each of us can be of different colors and shape. You know, it's the leaves are darker in spring and they change colors during fall and they wither out in winter time. And so we understood how that's all a part of the normal process, and how we are all we are just Swami's belongings. That's what we did as one of the life applications. And here are some of the pictures from all the children. And one of them call it as a friendship tree. It's nice. For the second life application, we were learning about non-violence, and the first thing we were learning on non-violence is not more so around hurting someone with the tool, but we were trying to understand how the words themselves are tools and how we can use our words to be more powerful in our statements. We were trying to understand good and bad words, so we did an experiment with rice. So we took 2 bowls and kept a cup of rice and poured it with water and covered it and kept them separated from each other. Called one of them as good, called the other one as bad. And we said good things to the good one and bad things to the bad one for almost a week. And we examined the rice after a week. Surprisingly, the bowl that had good words spoken to it were almost clear, either in the, as you can see, the red bowl here, it was almost clear. In its the rice was almost clear, the water was almost clear, whereas the one that had bad words, you can start, the rice was almost leaking, it was smelling really bad. So we were using that experiment. It was almost a 50-50 chance, and some of them just didn't work really well because the kids were laughing and jokingly saying things, bad things, not necessarily meant bad things. So it didn't really work out 100% of the time. But we learned that our words are so powerful, and whatever we say, even whatever we think in front of that object, and that's what that object receives. And that was another life application we did. Both of this we're offering to Swami on his Avatar Declaration Day. Pranams to Swami. Sai Ram. Thank you.
Sai Ram, thank you so much, Satya, for such an amazing presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sai Ram. Next, we'll be introducing the first guest speaker.
Saidam. Saidam, today we are blessed to have with us Dr. H.D. Mohan Kumar and Padma Shri Dr. V. Mohan on the auspicious occasion of the Swami's Avatar Declaration Day. First, we'll be having Dr. H.D. Mohan Kumar share his experiences. He came into Swami's fold in 1985 while doing his higher secondary education in Satyasai School at Aleke near Mangalore in Karnataka. He joined the Sri Satyasai Institute of Higher Learning Vrindavan campus in 1988 for BSc Biosciences and went on to do his MSc Biosciences at the Prashant Nilayam campus. Later, he taught in a college and worked in many biotech companies in Bangalore. He went to Italy in 2006 to pursue his PhD in cancer biology and came to San Diego in 2007. He is currently working as a scientist reviewer for HIV diagnostics at the US Food and Drug Administration. Now he serves as the educational coordinator of the South Bestera Sai Center. Now I would like to hand over virtually the mic to Dr. H.D. Mohan Kumar. Sairam, brother. We are all eager to hear from you. Sairam.
Sairam. Sairam to all of you. My dearest Bhagwan, my most humble pranams at your lotus feet. Sairam to all of you. It's a great blessing to share Swami's experiences, to recollect and to relive those moments with Swami is like, sadhana, a meditation. Thanks to Cancer Sai Center, Sister Lakshmi and the committee for giving this opportunity. Dear brothers, sisters, elders and the SSC children, all of you know today is Avatar Declaration Day. Swami had to declare this day to make it known to the world. But even before that, we know that many of his own family members like Kondamaraju, his own teachers recognized his divinity. But to make it known to the world, he chose October 28, 1940. I was just reflecting, why does Lord come in human form, right? So we have heard that, Lord comes to establish dharma, protect the good, destruction of evil, and so many things. But Swami has come to protect and then guide us through the path of love. That's why I would like to call us loving mother or a prema avatar. The God comes in human form so that we can relate to him. The main reason he comes is so that we can develop love and devotion to him, and that we can develop through the interactions, the leelas and the ways of God that we see during his lifetime. Swami says we have to cherish the leelas of the God and nourish our devotion and banish our ego to grow in spiritual path. And Swami also says, give bhakti and I will give you mukti. So when Swami declared the avatar, Swami said, I am Sai Baba. I am of Apastamba Sutra, Bharadwaja Gotra, and your ancestors and Venkavaduta prayed for me. And later in one of his discourses, Swami was telling us, to be a contemporary of God is the greatest gift, definitely. But being a contemporary, not coming to see Swami is a misfortune. And also coming to see God and not recognizing the divinity is another misfortune. Being with Avatar, talking to him, praying to him, singing, seeing the glory, experiences, but troubled by the world is also not good. Most of us are in this situation. Swami says you are most fortunate, being with Avatar. If you experience, pray to him, but at the same time, you understand the truth of the Avatar, then you are really very, very fortunate, and we all have to strive towards that. And Swami has many different ways of getting his own devotees to himself. Let me tell you my own story, how I came to Swami. In our family, no one was a devotee earlier, and in our place, nobody had heard of Swami, and I had not even seen Swami's photo there. My father, like every father, wanted us to study well. So he was looking for residential schools, and Alike near Mangalore, which has Swami's school, was very well known and good for academics and spiritual and moral character development. And most of the students who go there, especially who takes science stream, they become doctors or engineers. That was the goal for my father. With that intention, I joined Swami's school in Alike, and during every festival times, or during birthday and other occasions, we go from Alike to Puttaparthi. That is how I came to know Swami. And once I saw Swami, I thought I should be with Swami and then stay with Swami forever. And then the only way was to join Swami's college. But in those days, my father wanted me to become a doctor. So that was a conflict. So usually it happens whenever we go, Swami would call us, give interview, and then talk to us. And in our 12th grade, when we go, generally without fail, he will call us and then talk to us, guide us, and then tell us things like that. During 1988, during Shivratri time, we all went to Swami to take Swami's blessings and write the exams. We all prayed for 4 or 5 days in Puttaparthi, being there, and Swami would call, and Swami would talk to us every day, come and talk to us. And we were expecting Swami to call. It was the Shivratri day. Shivratri got over. We prayed fervently whole night, and then we thought after morning discourse and prasadam distribution, Swami would call us, because we were leaving on that day back to Alike. It so happens, when Swami retires, everybody has to leave the mandir, and then all the sevadals, everybody, they were telling, Swami has gone upstairs and he has retired, he won't come, you have to leave. And within 2-3 hours we had to leave. We were shocked. Oh my God, we are missing an opportunity. Swami is not blessing us before our exams. And then we requested the sevadal, can we stay for 5 or 10 more minutes near the car shed? So we all stayed back, and then suddenly Swami came down and he called us all inside the interview room. We all rushed, and then as usual Swami talked to us how we should behave, respect parents and different things. And then at the end of the interview, Swami generally gives photographs, pens and vibhuti. So he bought all these things. He bought a bunch of photos to me, and then he said, go and distribute. I took them, distributed to everybody, And then finally, so many were left over. I came back to Swami and said, Swami, this are leftover. Then Swami said, did you take one? Swami said, no. Swami suddenly said, you take one more for your wife. Everybody laughed. I didn't know what to say. And when Swami is talking to you, and you know how the atmosphere is, right? And especially when you're looking at Swami, words will never come. Suddenly, I said, Swami, I want to join your college. Swami said in Kannada, Kanditwag seat kodtini. I will definitely give a seat. That was it. So we came back, we wrote all the exams and even the CET exam, the medical entrance, everything. And then I also wrote Swami's college entrance exam. It so happened Swami's college opened much before. The medical entrance results were coming late, and then I told my father, till I get the medical entrance results, I will go and join Swami's college. So my father agreed. And then we went and joined. We were given Vrindavan campus. I thought, oh my God, Vrindavan Swami doesn't come. Parthi means we can have darshan every day. That was the impression. Only later I came to know that Vrindavan, whenever Swami comes, he gives more chances. And all of you know, Swami calls Prashanti Nilayam as his office, Vrindavan is his home, and Kodaikanal is his playground. So that is how we got. Later, after a month or so, we got our even medical entrance results. And then my father called me and said, I am coming on this day. Then I didn't know, I didn't want to leave Swami. I went and requested our warden, sir, I want to stay, but my father is coming. I can't tell. No, you have to tell. So when my father came, the warden, sir, convinced my father, there's a golden opportunity which people will not get in many lifetimes. To be with God is the biggest blessings. My father they were not devotees, but they had respect because they had seen how the Alike atmosphere was spiritual and moral development. They give it to the children. He agreed, and it was really a blessing of Swami, and I should be thankful to my father for allowing me to stay and continue. So then later we were in Vrindavan. So this is the Vrindavan, Thrai Vrindavan, most of you would have seen, or it's a beautiful mandir. And then we used to sit in front of the Thrai Vrindavan. There is a long passage, and almost those days we were very 180 students, very less students. So we used to sit in the long path. Almost every one of us used to get, Pada Namaskar daily. And whenever Swami used to come, it used to be a treat, because Swami would call us every day in the evening, something called Thrice sessions, very famously called. And that is like, one of the most rarest of the rare experiences, because Swami is so informal, loving, and he will talk about various things and so many experiences, and people can, and at times Swami will ask, anybody has any questions, or anybody or any student wants to speak can speak. That was the freedom that Swami used to give, and he used to be really like a loving mother. And we used to go get every day thrice sessions, and then also evening, morning also we used to go. On the holidays, morning also Swami used to call us. That was the greatest blessings, being a student there. This is the outside of the gate, what you can see, the doorstep of Thrai Vrindavan. As you can see, on both sides, there are a lot of pots, and whenever Swami used to call, we used to go. In those days, even now, there is a Kalyana Mandapam. Evening time, bhajans used to be held there, and then after the bhajans, Swami used to call us inside Thrai. So it used to happen, so after the bhajan, we all want to rush inside the Thrai. As soon as the arati is over, like we'll be ready to run. In fact, Narayana Narayana 3 times, we used to sing only 1 times and used to run. And sometimes Swami would be just walking, but we students used to overtake Swami and then rush like mad monkeys or horses. And our aim was only to get inside and sit right in front of Swami's chair, as close as possible. So that is the goal. So this used to happen every day. And then most of the days what used to happen, as you can see on both sides, there's so many pots are there. When we run, we never used to see anywhere else other than our goal is inside Swami's chair, in front of Swami's chair. We used to break so many pots. And Swami used to lovingly come and ask, how many pots did you break? And then, like, that was the atmosphere. So this used to go on day, whenever Swami is there. On one occasion, first students will go, and then later all the teachers, Swami also will come, and VIPs also will come. On one occasion, I'm sure all of you know V.K. Narasimhan, who was the Sanatana Sarathi editor and also the Indian Express editor in India. He was a translator generally those days. And Swami, once we settled down inside the Trai, Swami used to ask us, like, Emi Samacharam, or what is the matter? So this is the inside Trai, but when we were there, there was no Jula, there was a chair, and we all used to, sit even from back. So Swami used to start the conversation, Emi Samacharam, or he'll ask somebody to come and speak. And then that day he asked V.K. Narasimhan, what is the matter? Narasimhan got up and said, Swami, you say you love your boys and you give so many chances to these students, and you say they are your property, and you spend so much time with them. Look at these boys, how they run. They don't even care who is on the path. They don't even bother about you. They overtake you and run. So much indiscipline. They are indisciplined boys. And we were all shell-shocked. And then even the teachers were worried. You know what happens, like when Swami gets angry, I think it's a totally different atmosphere. He would stop talking, or he would send us out, whatever like punishment he would give. We were all just shell-shocked. Swami was looking, and then suddenly he smiled and he said, V.K. Narasimhan, do you know outside college boys, what do? They all go and stand in front of the film theater to get tickets, and they will go behind movie stars and things like that. Look here, they love me so much. They are running for God. They are not running for the world. And that is how Swami defended students. He used to encourage devotion. It's not that like Swami, tolerate our indiscipline. At times even he used to chide us also. So that is how the atmosphere is to be there. Let me narrate to you a few incidents. So these are some of the photos inside the Trai. You can see at the end of the Trai session, Swami would go. When he's going, he would close the curtain, and then we all think that Swami has gone, but suddenly we'll open the curtain. He used to play hide and seek. And then inside the Trai and top, it's a circular building, as you have seen. Swami used to walk behind, little behind, so that none of us can see. And then we all used to be standing in the center of the hall, and suddenly he'll come in somewhere. We don't know where he comes. And then everybody will turn towards that, and then he would laugh. So that is how that loving and, beautiful atmosphere inside Thrice. We have had several, every day is some memorable day inside Thrive. Let me explain to you some of the incident. We have seen lot of creations, talks, miracles inside Thrive. On one occasion, there was a student boy named Sham. He was a Krishna's devotee. And one evening, Swami created a ring, and then he gave it to him with the Krishna's image, Swami's image in the first day. And then he went, I think he was not happy because he was a Krishna's devotee, he wanted Krishna's image there. And then next day in the Thrice session, we were all sitting, and then Swami called him, show me your ring. And then he showed it to everybody. And then what do you see, Swami? And then he said, you see, this boy likes Krishna. And then he just blew it. It became this Krishna, what you see here. And then later he made one profound statement. If I can convert this Sai Baba to Krishna, am I not Krishna? So meaning to say, is the same Lord who was Krishna, Rama, who has come again. So he was driving home such a profound message. So that is how he used to teach and drive home several profound messages. Not only that, he was also very caring and loving. On one occasion, we were all there. I had my own classmate who was also from Malike. His name is Sai Navnithan. We were all there, and Swami will generally inquire how are the boys doing, what are they eating, marks and several other things. Suddenly he made this boy get up and then asked Warden sir, in which room is he staying? Which floor of the hostel? And then the Warden sir said, Swami is staying in the 3rd floor. And then Swami asked him to go and do a medical checkup. He's not well, he looks very thin and weak. Before he could do all that also, Swami himself revealed he has a heart problem, there is a hole in the heart. He cannot climb all the 3-floor steps. So you have to change him to ground floor. And then immediately he created one lingam, which had hearts inside and then all the veins, and then gave it to him and then told him, do abhishekam every day and then drink the water, you will be fine. Such was the love, and he knows, even the wardens, doctors, probably the student himself did not know, but Swami knows whatever problems or ailments we have. And then I think that boy was wondering how he will do the abhishekam, like whether he has to chant Rudram or it's a difficult process. Then Swami said, you don't have to do anything, any of the rituals, just pour water, say God's name, and then drink that water, you will be fine. So that is how, not only that he knows everything, by doing this, he's, increasing the faith and making us more devoted. That is how he used to do that. And then on another occasion, Swami used to, describe so many things, about the past, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and various devotees, and even the current, political situation, different things, very informally he used to describe. On one occasion, Swami was describing the devotion of Sai Gita. It is said, Jantunam Narajanma Durlabam. But when God comes, even the animals, inanimate things which get associated with God also are blessed. Also, they get moksha. Swami was describing the devotion of Sai Gita, how it is. On one time they took the Sai Gita to Madhumalai forest so that it has to give birth to a baby and left it. But it came back to Vrindavan and it was knocking the doors of Trine in middle of the night. And Swami was describing how Ram Brahmam Garu went outside, some thief has come, thinking that, and then he was watching and Swami comes behind and taps on him, and then Ram Brahmam suddenly gets scared, and then Swami says, who is that thief? It is not thief, Sai Gita has come, open the door. That is how he was describing the devotion. And then suddenly he just paused for a moment, and then he said, I'm giving away Sai Gita. Who wants to take it? There was a sudden silence. To take Sai Gita is not a joke. You need a big place and lot of money to take care of it. There was silence, and again Swami asked, anybody wants? I am ready to give. I am giving. There's one boy, Sadashiv Pai, my classmate, he raised the hand. And then Swami was so happy immediately. He created a big idol of Sai Gita, what you see on the right side. That is the actual idol created by Swami. And he gave it to him. And then he explained, Pichivada, like to all of us mad people, when God says something or when God is giving you something, don't you think God will give you that strength, the necessary things to take care of these things? You need to have self-confidence in my words. That is how Swami is to teach us various lessons. So we used to have such wonderful times. Let me describe another experience. So it used to happen even during holidays, Dasara holidays or summer holidays. Many of us used to stay back, thinking that we will get more chances with the Lord, and then less number of people will be there and Swami will interact. So during our Dasara vacation in our 1989, some of us stayed back, around 25 of us in Vrindavan. So Swami used to spend the whole day with us from morning. He even was not taking devotees for interview, but he used to call us. And then evening also used to call us, and sometimes he used to send lunch, dinner, and then also every day we used to get sweets and various goodies because it was holidays. On one occasion, Swami was distributing a chocolate bar, I think dairy milk, to everybody with his own hands, and then he gave it to everybody. And then he sat down and he took from one of the boys, and then he opened as though he's going to eat. He broke one small block, and then he started telling, oh, this is a junk food, this is not good for health, your teeth will go away. I don't know how you eat. I eat only ragi, and he was describing. But at the same time, to make us very happy, he is giving us, he knows the children's heart. What he did was, he took the the chocolate, he blew it, it became that green emerald. This is the photo taken by me during those days. You can see. And then he showed it to everybody, and then he gave it to that boy also, that emerald. That boy thought like he's giving, and then it suddenly fell down. Swami said, no, it's a very costly emerald, give it back, and he was joking. And then he took that emerald back again and he blew it, it became chocolate, and gave it to that boy. That boy, Vijay, like he immediately put it in his mouth, and then Swami jokingly said, yeah, you're stuck in the throat. Like that, everybody was laughing. So that was, used to teach, also be humorous. And then he said, you see, if I can convert, chocolate to emerald, I can convert earth into sky, sky into earth. But, it is difficult to transform you people. It's not that difficult, but I want you to transform. That is how Swami is to, drive home a lot of points. So during the same vacation, Swami was so close with us, and then I thought it was a Dasara vacation. My father had sent 2,000, and during those days 2,000 was a lot of money, because I think even our hostel mess fees was only around $180 rupees per month. Then I said, I told my father I wanted to buy a Kodak camera. I wanted to click when Swami is there, because when you get lot of chances when Swami is there. Then I bought the camera. It was around 900, and within a week I clicked 4 rolls of film. And as you know, those days it used to cost around 100 rupees for one roll, and to develop also another 100 rupees. And it was a joy, because after clicking and developing, we used to go and show the photos to Swami, and Swami used to see each and every photo. So within a week, I exhausted the entire 2000. Then suddenly I was thinking one night, oh my God, my father sent just 2000 I am spent. If I ask again, what will he think? And then I forgot about it. The next day morning, we all went inside Thrai as usual. Swami had called. I was also very close to the chair. And Swami as usual comes from behind. And then from behind he called, where is Mohan Kumar? Where is Mohan Kumar? And I thought like Swami must be calling somebody else. Then I didn't raise. And again he said, where is Mohan Kumar? Then I raised my hand. Then Swami said, what were you thinking yesterday night? And I did not know what I was thinking. During the day or, on occasions, we think so many things, right? I did not know. Then Swami himself prompted, yesterday you were thinking you exhausted all your money, what to tell your father. And then immediately from behind only Swami took out one letter, he tapped and just threw it at me. And then he said, open it. I didn't have the courage to open. As Swami came and sat on the chair, he opened the letter. There were 500 rupee notes. He gave it to me. After sitting down, he was, talking. You see, as soon as the thought comes to devotee's mind, I know and I can respond instantaneously, spontaneously, and even faster than light. You see, God's love, you cannot even compare to mother's love. Even mother takes some time if the child cries to respond, but God is not like that. If you are a devotee, He can respond to you immediately, even without you calling. So he was describing, God's love is more than 1,000 mothers' love, and you cannot even compare. So that was the story. I was very happy, and then I forgot about it. So that we spent that Dasara vacation very beautifully. Later, once I finished my master's in Puttaparthi, I went back home. Then I was in for a big shock. My father said, your mother was weak. She was hospitalized. And then later I came to know she had a blood cancer. Then I was telling my father, why didn't you tell me? I would have gone and told Swami. Then he said, I didn't want to tell you because you will get disturbed and you will not write the exams well. Then I was really disturbed, and then Swami was in Kodaikanal. I went to Kodaikanal, and then I told Swami, my mother has blood cancer. And then Swami went inside. He got a bunch of vibhutis, and he said, don't worry, I'll take care of you. So we came back, and then later it so happened, I was thinking, Swami has told he'll take care of me. He will cure her. With that faith, I was taking care of my mother. Later, after I used to go to Parthi and have darshan. After a year, my mother became very serious. I was the eldest son, and then I had younger brothers who were very little those days. My mother became sick, and she was hospitalized in Mysore. I was taking care of her. And then one day it so suddenly happened. that she was gasping for breath in the afternoon lunchtime. And then there was nobody, I need to run and call the doctors and nurses. There were other patients. The other patients, people who were looking at this scenario, they were telling, "Oh, you are such a small boy. Don't you have anybody?" I don't know what happened and what prompted me. The spur of the moment, I said, "Swami is with me." So, and then it was such a difficult moment later that day. My mother passed away. My father was somewhere else, and then I had to take care of all these things. And then later, I had two brothers, one sister. They were all in still school. It was a very difficult situation. But we had faith in Swami, and later only then I realized what Swami had told me in few years back at Thrai, that I am your mother, I will take care of you. Truly, I think Swami, once he gives word, he will take care. That's the firm belief. So later, I had to look for a job. As you know, like my father, they were not devotees, but they started believing in Swami. They wanted me to become a doctor, but I joined Swami's college, giving up medicine. Then they said, "Why don't you write civil service exam to become an IAS officer?" So I thought, okay, because we cannot. Swami always used to say you should respect your parents, listen to them. So with that intention, I thought, okay, let me do whatever my father says. So I started studying for the civil service exams. And then we used to go whenever there is an opportunity to meet Swami. And every time I used to write and clear the prelims, I used to go and tell Swami, "Swami, I've cleared my prelims." Swami used to every time give Padma Namaskar. Very good, I'm very happy. He used to bless every time. So this happened 4 times. All the 4 times I cleared the prelims. In that exam you have prelims, you have mains, and then you have the interview. That's the process. So I never cleared mains, but I used to clear prelims. But every time I used to go and tell Swami, Swami used to bless. But I used to take that as, Swami is giving me an approval. Okay, I can go and write. But I did not clear. But I did not give up faith in Swami, and it so happened. So later, what happened was, like on one occasion, in the last final year, my father said, "Why don't you try even the state service exam?" Then after I had written the mains, I thought this is a cakewalk. State exams are much easier. And Swami was in Vrindavan. And then during those days, Swami was building a old age home in outside Kadugodi. One of my friend's dad was in charge. Then he called me and said, "Why don't you help me? 1 week we have a lot of work, and Swami also will come and he'll bless." And I said, "Okay, uncle, I'll come and bless." And I thought, civil service, I've already written civil service. The state exam will be easier. I will be here. So Swami came for the inauguration. He blessed. And then that day I told Swami, and Swami himself, he got the sweet and gave it to me. That was in the morning after the inauguration. I gave the prasadam, and then I thought Swami is really blessed. And then I go in the evening and I fall sick. I'm puking, and I was admitted in the hospital. I was in drips. And then later, it came to know that I had a jaundice and I had become weak. In spite of that, I wrote the state exam. Later, it so happened I cleared the mains, and then there was an interview also. And all of you know how the government system works in India. So you need to pay money. So I did not want to pay money because come from Swami's Institute, and those days, lot of Swami's devotees like S.M. Krishna, the chief minister himself, was a devotee. Then our warden sir said, "Don't worry, he will give a recommendation," and he gave a recommendation. Then I went through the interview also, got selected for state service exam. And after that, my father and me, we were so happy, at least we got selected here. Then we went to Puttaparthi to take Swami's blessings. And then in the darshan line, my father was right in the first line. Swami comes, and then he'll touch my father's forehead. He'll do like this 3 or 4 times. And then my father suddenly, instead telling that my son has cleared the exam, he asked Swami, "Swami, you have to come to my home." And Swami says, "Yes, definitely I will come to our home." And I was saying all this, and then we were so happy, and then we came back. Later, it so happened they had to rescind the exam because there was a lot of other corruptions. They need to reevaluate. I did not get selected. And this was like, disappointments after disappointments. We never gave up faith in Swami. Never really, But we had that faith. And then later, I got married, had a child, and I was working in some companies. And, it was very difficult to take care of brothers, everybody. You need to get promotion, but I was just an MSc. I had spent a lot of years preparing for this exam. Then I was wondering, then everybody, all my teachers, everybody was telling, do PhD. By Swami's grace, I got an offer from Italy to do the PhD, and then we came, and I came there and did my PhD, and we came to US. So during those days, as I told you, in my family, like my father was alone and taking care of all the children. I was in Scripps at San Diego here doing research. During one of the days, I get a phone call early morning in San Diego around 3 o'clock. During that time, I was having a Swami's dream. In that Swami's dream, my father is there, I am there, and Swami is creating vibhuti and giving it to my father. I am seeing the dream, I'm in the dream, and immediately phone rings from my father. And my father says, I am fine, don't worry, and it just keeps. And then I could not understand. It was early morning, 3 o'clock. Then I did not know what it was. And later I came to know that there was a very difficult situation at my place, and there was threat to my father's life. And this is the dream. And then later, one of my friends, they said they will ask some saintly people, about the situation. And then they asked, and one of the saintly man said, there are 2 goddesses taking care of your home and dad, because my father had to leave the place and he was not there for 6 months. And then later I was telling, for me there are no angels, goddess, only Swami is my mother. So later, after a few days, I get a dream where Swami is sitting in each of my room of the house and, enjoying. Then that is how, we could connect. Like my Swami had told my father, I will come to your home. So that is how he was taking care of the entire family. So this is how, Swami kept on blessing us, but at the same time we think so many disappointments. But in the meantime, if I recollect, in all those years when I was writing civil service and I was working in Bangalore, it was so easy for me to go and see Swami for every festival. Whenever Swami comes to Vrindavan, to go and have Swami's blessings. If I had gotten a job or something like that, now if I recollect, I would have missed so many years of Swami. Such a blessing. Whatever happens is for our own good. Every darshan is the greatest gift. So that's how Swami, whatever he does, we should not question. But at those difficult moments we question, but later only we'll realize Swami's message that whatever he does, it's for our own good. So that is how, Swami has taught us, to be firm, and great lessons, as I told you. Let me narrate to you some of the few more incidents that where Swami is to drive home a lot of points. So what you see in this picture is from one of the summer course in the 1990s. That is the Mangala Sutra of Nalada Mayanti. When Swami was explaining the story, at the end of the summer course, generally Swami creates some rare objects to make us all happy. And one occasion, Nalada Mayanti Mangala Sutra, on another occasion, that was I think first time he created even Hiranya Garbhalinga in the summer course. What you see, the famous picture. So he created this beautiful crystal Mangala Sutra where swan is there inside that golden pendant. And then he came down, as you can see in the auditorium, he was showing to everybody. Aisle by aisle he was going. And, out of curiosity and, this thing, some of us are, peeping, going closer and seeing. And some of the students started touching and doing namaste. And then Swami, took it and then immediately turned. You are attracted to the creation. Who is the creator? You're forgetting the creator. So like that, is to drive. The God himself is there, but whatever he creates, the world, we are attracted by that. He was driving home. Don't forget the creator. That's how, is to drive several points. So let me come to another. During the thrice sessions, Swami used to tell, some of the times he used to take theme of Bhagavatam or Ramayana. And sometimes he used to connect the stories from yugas to yuga. And one occasion, Swami was describing the devotion of Rukmini. And then this is the, Tulabhara of Satyabhama. So Swami was describing how, Rukmini was a devout, very simple lady, and Satyabhama was a proud, self-important, because she was beautiful. Also, she comes from a royal lineage, and she has lot of wealth, including Shamantakamani, the precious diamond. Swami was explaining. So Narada comes and tells Satyabhama, Satyabhama, you are so beautiful, you are from a royal family, but, Krishna loves Rukmini more than you. To win over, you need to do this Tulavaram. That is you weigh the Lord with all your wealth. So, and she agrees. And then Satyabhama brings all her gold, jewelry, everything, including Samantakamani, everything she puts, and on the Krishna side doesn't lift up. And then Swami beautifully describes the Rukmini comes, she just takes one tulsi leaf and says Krishnarpanamastu. With full devotion she puts. And Swami beautifully describes, the name and form are the same. especially in this Kali age, the name, the Namasmarana is more powerful to drive home that point. Name and form are the same. In fact, the weight of the Tulsi is more, that's why, and then Krishna's side went up. So he used to drive home such a beautiful message, what we need to do, and we cannot win God by our worldly things, only through devotion, and we need to stick on to God. So that is how he is to drive home things. So Swami says, in this world, whatever we do, we have to do for God. The worldly life is not different from a spiritual life. We should not separate. The best example what I can give is in the hostel, whatever we did, be it maintenance, be it stores, be it dining hall, whatever, some are good in bhajan, some are good in, music, whatever. So everybody will choose, but everybody will do for Swami. If they're maintenance boys, they will decorate the hostel when Swami comes and they will get a chance. If you are a store boys, they will work there and Swami will come and give a chance in the stores. So whatever we did, it was a mundane things. It was only for Swami. So that is how, some of us, it so happened, during the first year, I did not win any prize in the sports meet. I was very thin, as you can see, and then small. Later, I thought I should do something. Then I started running. And in the final year, I wanted Swami to recognize and give me a good chance. And every day we used to practice. And then whatever we did, it was for Swami. And whatever we do in this world also, that attitude, if we do, it is for Swami. So finally, I want to say that during the Avatar Declaration Day, Swami sang Manasa Bhajare Gurucharanam Bhajan, hold on to his feet. So this was during one of our trips from Malike to Parthi. We were all asking Swami, give Pada Namaskar, Pada Namaskar. Then suddenly Swami turned back and then in Kannada he said, Sai Padava Pattagi hididare Papa Nashawagi Punya Praptyagi Punarjanma Villadantavutade. Meaning, if you hold on to Sai's feet, sins will be atoned, merits will be acquired, and you will attain the state of no birth. And I think when Swami is not there physically, we have to hold on to his feet, hold on to his name, as Swami himself has taught during many of his experiences and incidents. I think what we have to do is hold on to his feet and then be with Swami forever. Yeah, thank you for the Cancer Sai Center and Lakshmi and everybody, the committee members, for giving me this opportunity. And it's a blessing to recollect and relive those beautiful moments. Sai Ram.
Hi, Dr. H.G. Mohan Kumar, Brother Mohan Kumar. Thank you so much. On behalf of the Kansas Sai Center, we would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for sharing such divine glimpses of Swami's divinity. Next, we have Padma Shri Dr. V. Mohan's experiential.
Dr. V. Mohan is the chairman and chief of diabetology at Dr. Mohan's Diabetes Specialties Center at Chennai in South India, which is an IDF Center of Excellence in Diabetes Care. Dr. Mohan oversees the largest chain of diabetes center in the world with over 50 branches across 8 states of India and has over 500,000 registered diabetes patients in his centers. He's also the president and director of the Madras Diabetes Research Foundation, which is Asia's largest standalone diabetes research center. Deeply interested in research from his undergraduate medical student days, Dr. Mohan has published over 1,400 research papers in peer-reviewed journals, which is the highest by any doctor in India. His work has attracted over 152,000 citations. Dr. Mohan has trained over 12,000 physicians and 500 diabetologists, in addition to nurses, educators, and technicians. Dr. Mohan has received over 180 awards, including the prestigious Dr. B.C. Roy National Award by the Medical Council of India and the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Sanitary Award from the Indian Council of Medical Research, the highest award for biomedical research in India. He also received Bhagavan Shri Satyasai Dhanvantri Award from the Shri Satyasai Seva Organization, India. In 2018, he was conferred the Dr. Harold Rifkin Distinguished International Service in the Cause of Diabetes Award by the American Diabetes Association, and he is the first Indian to receive this award. Dr. Mohan is one of the few medical doctors in India to have been awarded the FRSC by the Royal Society of Edinburgh. Dr. Mohan also provides lifelong free treatment to thousands of poor patients through the free diabetes clinics established by him, and has conducted over 3,000 free diabetes camps, including several along with the Shri Satyasai Seva organizations and trusts. For his extensive contributions in the field of diabetes, in 2012, Dr. Mohan was awarded the prestigious Padma Shri, one of the highest civilian awards given by the government of India. Dr. Mohan owes all his success and blessings to Bhagavan Shri Satyasai Baba and considers his position as a member of the Board of Trustees for the Shri Satyasai Central Trust as his highest honor he has ever received. His book, Satyasai Baba Lives On, is extremely popular among Sai devotees. His autobiography, Making Excellence in Habit, published by Penguin India, is the bestseller on Amazon India. Now I'd like to virtually hand over the mic to Dr. V. Mohan. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most loving, humble, and reverential pranams at the divine lotus feet of our Lord and Master, Bhagavan Shri Satyasai Baba. He is the very reason for our existence. He is the reason why we are all today. A satsang is an occasion when Swami has said that he will always be there, because whenever anybody sings my praises, he has said he will be there. And therefore, let us at the outset pray to beloved Bhagavan to be here today as we all join together. The very purpose of this is only to remember him and to sing his glory. Respected elders, Sister Lakshmi Turaga, and all the committee members of the Cancer Sai Center, and all my Sai brothers and sisters of not only Kansas, but also of the United States. My loving Sai Rams to all of you. I was very much enjoying Shri Mohan Kumar's talk filled with love about Swami. And I think that is the very purpose of all satsangs, that how many other times we hear Swami's glory. It is not enough for us. We Sai devotees need more and more. Even if we have heard the same stories, again listening to it, Swami always used to say, whenever we used to ask him for a discourse, he'll say, what am I going to say new? I've told you so many times. And then he himself will add, yeah, but it's correct. You people need to hear it again and again. Human beings need to hear it again and again. Only then the message goes through. It's very true that we all think that we are devotees, but it is Swami who has to decide whether we are devotees or not. Let me bring to you greetings not only from India, but specifically from Prashanthi Nilayam and from my fellow trustees of the Sri Satyasai Central Trust and from the Sri Satyasai Global Council. First of all, I think we should realize how blessed we all are. Today, as we speak, there are more than 7 billion people in this world. And if we I don't know, nobody can put a number to Swami's devotees, because what is the definition of a devotee? Is it carrying a photo of Swami or keeping a photo in your house? There is no definition of a Sai devotee. A Sai devotee is somebody whom Swami accepts as a devotee. And so we do not know how many people Swami has accepted as his devotee. And also, even if you don't worship the form of Sri Satya Sai Baba, you are still a Sai devotee. So there is no strict definition. But those who are part of the organization and those who are strictly following Swami's physical form, let us say for the loose definition, that is the definition of a Sai devotee. Could be a few million, we don't know how many million and so on. Even so, we are the chosen few. And therefore, I can go one step further and say that not only you are the chosen few, but you are Sai ambassadors, truly. Because if you see any avatar, now it is their followers who have continued the glory of the avatar. If you come more recent, if you take, for example, Lord Buddha, now he actually sent out his devotees and said, you go in this direction, you go in that direction, you go in that direction, and spread the message of love. So they were the chosen few. In this avatar of Satya Sai Baba, whom we have all been blessed to not only see, but also hear and also get his Pada Namaskar, to be personally guided. And then he has now, like a true parent who has taught everything to his children, he has now handed over the baton to us and said, okay, now I'm going behind a screen and I'm going to watch from there. You won't be able to see me, but I can see you. So let us see how you perform. I've given you clear instructions what to do, and let me see whether you are doing. And that is what he is exactly watching now. Now, when he is in his Sarguna form, where there was a form, he had to limit himself. He had to reduce some of his powers. Otherwise, the power will be too much. We cannot even go near him. We'll get burnt. So much is his power. But from there, where he had his limited form, today, in the Nirguna form, the formless form where he is there now, his powers have multiplied multifold. Today, he doesn't need a body to travel. He can go through, bricks and through houses and from any part of the world. Brother Mohan Kumar said that, he can, our thoughts reach him and he can travel faster than light. So he can travel at unlimited speed. And therefore, he can be here and he can be in the US and can be everywhere at the same time. That's the true meaning of an avatar or of godhood, of the omnipresence, omniscience, and the omnipotence. And we are all, as Sai devotees, experiencing this every minute of our life. For me, I see miracles happening almost on a daily basis that I don't even know what to talk about as a miracle, because everything is a miracle and Swami's presence is constantly being felt. The reason I'm saying this is, mention was made about my book, and I just wanted to show it to you. Satya Sai Baba Lives On. This book is now in some 8 or 9 languages now. It's been reprinted several times, and some of you might have read it. Now, whatever miracles I have personally experienced, I have put it into this book. So when I give a talk, I can't, make up new miracles for you. It is already there in that. So forgive me if some of the things which I'm going to say are already known to you. The whole purpose is to reinforce our faith, and I'll come back to that. So on that note, I think since the title of this talk is experience sharing, I thought I should share a few experiences, because as I said, it's always worth listening to why are people so much devoted to Swami. What is that which changed them? What is that which increased their faith? What is that which made them believe wholeheartedly, without an iota of doubt, about the godhood of Swami and the divinity of Swami? Let me tell you a couple of instances which happened before the Mahasamadhi, when Swami was in his physical form, and then talk about one or two after the Mahasamadhi, because this is the doubt that people have. In fact, on that fateful day, 24th of April 2011, I was in Prashanti Nilayam. I had just lost my wife 30 days before that. And after finishing all the rituals, I thought, what better to do? But to, of course, my secret hope was that I could talk to Swami and, tell him, not that he doesn't know, but to tell him, praise him that she is no more. But that never happened, because by the time the day she passed away, at the exact date and time that she passed away here in Chennai was the time when Swami was bidding goodbye in Prashanthi Nilayam. You know that photograph, like that, where he raises his hand. That's the precise moment when she passed away here as well. And then, of course, 2-3 days later, he was in hospital. And then when when I was there for just a few days before the Mahasamadhi, and when the the really painful news came, I was there in Prashanthi Nilayam. I stayed there a few days even after that. But one of the things which happened on that day, on April 24th, that evening, I was walking around the ashram aimlessly, not knowing what to do, a kind of helplessness, because in 30 days to lose your wife, partner, as well as your guru is too much for anybody to take, exactly 30 days apart. And so I was kind of wandering around aimlessly in Prashanthi Nilayam, full of sadness and full of grief. When I heard things like, oh, from now on, there will be a vacuum. There will be nothing here in Prashanthi Nilayam. He has left us, so there will be nobody here. So that made me even more sad. And then even when I come to the US and often talk to Sai devotees, and I've extensively traveled in US and visited many Sai centers. I hope one day to come in person to your Sai center as well. So during these travels, when often I've asked devotees, when did you last go to Prashanthi Nilayam? They say, oh, for years you have not gone. There's a vacuum there. So what is the point in going there? Swami is not there. Who are we going to go and see there? So I think that is a mistake, and I'll come back to that later. The point I'm trying to make is that Swami has not gone away anywhere. He comes now and then. He shows himself in some Rubam, either as Sri Rama or Sri Krishna, or as Jesus, or as Buddha, or as Shirdi Baba, or as Satya Sai Baba. But these are fleeting in his life, of 80, 90 years. These are just fleeting things. When he just comes, shows his presence for some time, like an actor coming on a stage, showing you something, and then he goes away. It doesn't mean the actor is gone. From that scene, he has gone. From that play, he has gone. So similarly, in Swami's appearances also, these are just appearances. And if we believe that he is there, then he's not gone anywhere, and you will connect to him. So in that sense, I wanted to talk about a couple of instances, medical miracles, which happened before when he was in his physical form. And I'll tell you at least one. In the interest of time, I'll be short, and I'll tell you at least one which happened after the Mahasamadhi. The first one I want to talk about is a patient whom I had seen before I became a Sai devotee. I was not a Sai devotee. I had several experiences with Swami even before that, but I cannot say that I started worshipping Swami. It is just, not understanding what it's all about, some kind of a, phenomenon. That's all I could say. And whether it is all true or not, even I was not sure. Until it came much later, and all that, of course, is described in my book. So this patient he had a very bad diabetic foot. And diabetic foot, if it gets serious, especially if the blood circulation to the foot is reduced, healing can become a very big problem, and sometimes it won't heal at all. So this man had a very large infection, almost the whole foot, and the leg, the upper part of the lower part of the leg was affected. And my job was to control the diabetes well. And there was a surgeon who was treating him. And together we were treating. And a few days had passed, a week had passed. And although the sugar had gotten to good control, unfortunately, he had a blockage of the blood vessels. And so it was just not healing. And whatever we did, and the vascular surgeon said, we can't, operate on this man. He's got diffuse disease. We can't operate. So we were just waiting, but it was not healing. After some time, it started getting worse, and it was very clear that he's in for a very long haul, which meant that the huge expense is going to happen. And at the end of the day, he might still lose his leg, because we might need an amputation. So after considerable thought and discussion we brought in other specialists also. So 2-3 people opinion we got, and all said the same thing, better to amputate. So we finally told the bad news to this gentleman and told him, sir, we have no option but to amputate your leg below the knee. There is no other go, because this is not going to heal. You're going to suffer pain, then the cost and everything put together. It's better that you use an artificial leg. We'll amputate and then we'll be able to give you an artificial leg. Now, this man was a Sai devotee, and I didn't know that. And so what he said was, he took it very bravely, and he said, okay, sir, all I'm asking you is give me 24 hours. And in 24 hours, tomorrow when you come, I will tell you my decision, because we need his consent, obviously. So he said, tomorrow I will give you my decision. He didn't say yes or no. He said, tomorrow I'll give you my decision. He said, fair enough. I mean, if you want to take more time also, you can. But we are telling you that this looks almost impossible. You know, it's an impossible case. This is not going to heal. We'll come back to you tomorrow. So the next day, I went for my rounds. The surgeon had not opened the wound, and I had gone and seen the patient, and he was smiling, you know, smiling away. So I said, this is a bit strange. He's smiling. He should be crying, but you know, he's smiling. So I said, okay, how are you? He said, I'm fine. I'm fine. You know. So I said, so what's your decision about your leg? You're supposed to tell us today. That's not necessary, sir. There is no need for an amputation. So I said, I'm sorry, but isn't that a decision which we should take? Are you saying you will not agree to it? It's not a consent. No, I'm saying it is not necessary. It is healing, he said. I said, I beg your pardon, how do you know it's healing? We haven't even removed the bandage. So how do you know it is healing? Even I have not had a look at it. We have to open it now, but how are you saying it's healing? I'm 100% sure, because Baba told me. So I said, Baba told you? Which Baba? He said, Satya Sai Baba. He said, how did Satya Sai Baba tell you? He came last night to see me. I said, excuse me, he came to see you here in person? He said, yes, in person he came to see me. I said, but isn't he in Prashanti Nilayam, Puttaparthi? He was here, sir. Yesterday night he was here. I said, was it a dream or something? Did you see, you know, was it a dream? He said, no, it's not a dream, sir. In fact, I was sleeping. Then somebody tapped me. I said, describe it, you know. He said, somebody tapped me. And then I got up and he was sitting on my bed. I said, where was he sitting? He was sitting there, sir, at the foot end of my bed. He was sitting. He tapped me. He woke me up. And then he told me, nothing to worry about your leg. I will take care of it. Tell them no need for amputation. And then he just stroked my leg 2-3 times. So I said, what are the other patients doing? I turned and saw, sir, all were sleeping. So I said, nobody else saw? No, they were all sleeping. They didn't see him. But you saw him. Yes, I saw him. He talked to me. He touched me, sir. It's not a dream. He actually was here and he touched me. I could feel his touch, he said. Then I said, and then what happened? He said, he was smiling and he's saying, tell the doctors, no need for amputation. It will heal. It has already started healing, you tell them. And then he just disappeared, he said. Then I said, is this true? He said, yes, it's true. Then I said, okay, excuse me, I better go and get the surgeon, I said. So I called the surgeon and I said, you know, this guy says no need for amputation. He says Baba came, saw him. He said, let's open up, no? We'll see what's happening. When we opened the wound, the bandage, full bandage, we removed the whole bandage. For the first time, pink spots have started coming, you know, the first signs of healing, which never took place all those days. It has started sprouting, the granulation tissue has started, and the first signs of healing have started. So I said, see, whether the story is true or not, because he was not a devotee, I was not a devotee. The surgeon and I both were not devotees. I said, whatever it is, now on medical grounds, we'll have to give him time because it's beginning to heal. So let's wait. By the next day, the healing was quite, you know, fast it was developing. Within 4-5 days, the leg was completely, you know, beginning to heal. And a week later, we said, it's now you can go home and come back because now it is healing. It's going to take a little bit more time. We discharged him. And then, you know, 2-3 weeks later, the leg was completely healed. Now, this had a profound influence on me because I was not a devotee at the time. And so I sat down with the surgeon and said, can this be true? You know, because there is no way he could have made it up. I mean, he would not, first of all, he could not cure himself, number one. Number two, he's saying that Swami came here and all that. Can this be true? Because we have heard this about Baba. So could this really be true? So there were some instances like this where I have seen true miracles happen even before I became a devotee. And of course, these were things which did make me a devotee, but there were many other things which I've described in my book, which I won't go into. The second thing I wanted to tell you was even a very dramatic thing which happened. This was a Muslim gentleman who was admitted in my hospital. This man had a very low pain threshold. I've talked the story in Prashant Nilayam in front of Swami, and he just smiled when I said this. In fact, let me tell you another thing. When I've spoken in Prashant Nilayam before Swami, I have taken his permission because I have asked Swami, I'm not sure whether as a doctor I've seen miracles and so on, whether I'm supposed to talk about them. I'm not sure whether it's, you like it or not. I don't know. He said in Tamil, he told me, Dharalama pesu. Please talk about it. Talk about it, a thing. Let people know. No, let people know. Please talk, he said. So I've got his permission. That's the reason why I'm talking these incidents. So also I have the permission of the patients to talk about it, because they also should not feel, of course, they've not mentioned the name anywhere, but even so, I've taken their permission. They also said, please go and talk. So this is a Muslim gentleman who had a very painful abscess in the anal area, in the anus area, and that had to be operated. And it's a very painful area, a lot of nerves there. So we had to operate it. So we operated it. And on the first day after the operation, he could not sleep at all. We had to give him first some medicines and then stronger medicines and stronger medicine. Then we gave him the strongest medicine, and almost like a narcotic, we had given him that anesthetic kind of a thing, a narcotic thing, and he still did not sleep with that. And the next day evening, I had stepped out of the hospital to go somewhere when I got a call. The nurse called me and said, sir, please come back immediately. This man is shouting here, the patient. So I went running back to the hospital and I saw him, and he said, Doc, I believed you. I trusted you, and I've come. So I said, what happened? So he said, you told me you will take care of me and all that. Now I've got severe pain. And what are you doing about this pain? So I said, look, it's only the first post-operative day is just over. And if anything, it's a very sensitive area. We've given you powerful drugs. No, I've not slept a wink last night. Then tonight I want to sleep. Please give me something to sleep, he said. So I said, see, more than the powerful drugs which I've given you yesterday, I don't have anything else. Let me be honest with you. Just bear it for 1 or 2 days, and then the pain will go. As it starts healing, the pain will go. He said, no, I don't want, please don't tell me all this. Please give me relief from my pain. And I want it now, he said. I didn't know what to do because I already used up all the medicine. Same thing only I can give him. So then I remembered Swami's ring. You can see this ring which I'm wearing. It's blessed by Swami. So I told him, close your eyes. So he closed his eyes. So when he closed his eyes, I just put my ring on his head like that, on his forehead, and prayed to Swami. And I said, Swami, I can't treat him. Okay. I've done whatever I can. And this man is suffering and he needs your help. So please help him to sleep today. Please relieve him of his pain. This is my prayer to you. I surrender to you. I don't know how to treat this man. You please take care of him. I said, all things would have happened in 1 minute or less than a minute when I was praying to Swami. Then I told him, okay, open your eyes. You will be fine. I said, before you could ask me another question, I left the room. I walked out of the room. Then when I came out of the room, the nurse asked me, shall I give the same thing that I gave yesterday? And shall I give it now? I said, no, it's only 8:39 now. If you give it now, you may wake up later in the night. You wait. And just when he's going to bed, at that time, you give it to him because it'll have a longer effect, the medicines. So I went home, is having dinner. She called me about an hour later. And she said, sir, I went to give him the medicine, but he's fast asleep. So should I give him this medicine or not? I said, see, if you go and poke him now, he'll get up. And then we don't know whether, so you wait for him, let him get up. And then when he's crying in pain or something, that time you go and give it to him. Right now, don't go and disturb him. They watched him throughout the night. He slept through the whole night. And then till the morning, 7:30, he didn't have any pain. Nothing was given to him. Not even a paracetamol was given to him. So just I touched him, and when he already had his dinner, he just slept off. Like that, he slept off. Swami just kind of took him into like an anesthesia. Swami had taken him, completely relieved him of his pain. And then next morning when he got up, he had no pain. He was perfectly all right. And so he called the nurse. and he asked, what did you give me yesterday? And she said, sir, we didn't give you anything yesterday. No, 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 you must have given me something. Previous day, all those medicines were given and I had pain and I was crying with pain when Dr. Mohan came. You must have given me something. She said, no, sir, honestly, we didn't give you anything. You were fast asleep. So Dr. Mohan said not to disturb you. So when I came and checked 2-3 times, you were still fast asleep. So he said, okay. I came for the morning rounds. When I came for the morning rounds, he caught my hand and he said, Doc, what did you do to me yesterday? So I said, what did you do to you? I didn't do anything to you yesterday. No, you did something to me yesterday. You asked me to close my eyes. Something you are touching here, I could see. And that relieved my pain, you know. So you tell me what you did. I want to know. So he was a Muslim gentleman. So I didn't want to, talk about Swami and all that to him. So I said, why do you worry now? You're okay. Your pain has gone. So why do you worry? No, I want to know what you did, he said. I said, you really want to know? Okay, I'll tell you. I prayed to Bhagwan Satya Sai Baba because that's the person whom I believe in. So I prayed to him to relieve you. He just looked at me for a minute and then he said, your Satya Sai Baba is God, he said. I was so shocked coming from a Muslim that he is saying, and here I am hesitating to tell him, and he, without any batting an eyelid, he says, your Satya Sai Baba is God. So I was shocked. So I was just listening to him and he said, only God can do this, doctor. He didn't even come here. Okay. You only prayed to him. We believe that Allah is the person who answers prayers. Whenever you pray to Allah, prayers are answered. You have prayed to Satya Sai Baba and he has answered the prayer. What does it mean? That he is God. I was actually very humbled. And then I gave him Vibhuti packets, I gave him Swami's pictures and all that. And I also told him, why don't you come to Prashanthi Nilayam? And he said, Doc, I'm a well-known person in society and my community will not like it if I come, but I will pray to him. I will take Vibhuti, I will pray, I will keep his pictures, I'll keep everything. But coming to Prashanthi Nilayam is difficult for me because I'll be noted and then they will throw me out sometimes from my own circle, religious circle. Therefore, I cannot come, he said. So, but that was a very striking example. The last one I want to tell you before the Mahasamadhi and Swami was there was my mother. My mother was an asthmatic for many, many years. And she had to undergo a hip replacement, a big surgery, hip replacement. One of her hip had to be cut and a new knee had to be put. That's what is called as a hip replacement. Now, being an asthmatic, she could not undergo general anesthesia. So they had to put in what is called as an epidural anesthesia. Through the spine, they'll inject a small catheter is put in, and through that, they keep putting the anesthesia. The advantage of that is that throughout the night also you can keep giving this, so that like this gentleman had, the first day is a most painful day. So they can keep injecting it, filling it up whenever they want through that catheter, they can keep giving it. So surgery went well, everything was fine. She was back in the room, she had no pain and she went to sleep. I was in the room with her in the hospital. Somewhere around 3 o'clock in the morning, she started crying with pain. And she said, Mohan, 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 severe pain, severe pain, severe pain, do something. So I called the doctor and we saw that catheter which had been put into the thing, it had come out. It had slipped out. Now, we cannot put it back again because to do a spinal, as you know, you have to bend the person and they have to lie on their side. You have to bend them. Doctors in the audience will know. You have to bend them and then you have to put in this LP needle and then put in this thing. So she's already undergone the surgery now. Okay, so she's because asthmatic, she can't undergo general surgery, general anesthesia. Now, because she's undergone the surgery on that side, you cannot bend her now because that leg has been operated. So nothing we can do about it. Okay, so the doctor said, let us can't do anything now, something like that. He said, and he went off. So she is saying, no, help me, do something, do something. So I just knelt down in prayer to Swami and said, Swami, guide me now, because help my mother, because there's nothing we can do now. And these are kind of situations where we completely surrender to you, because we know that beyond us, there is some other power, and that power is you. And therefore, please help my mother. I prayed. And then I took little vibhuti and put it on her and put little in her mouth and said, Amma, will be fine. Nothing will happen now. if your pain will go away. I just told her that. Within 2-3 minutes after telling her, she said, okay, she said, and she just closed her eyes and went to sleep. Again, like that Muslim gentleman, nothing was given to her, no painkiller, nothing. Even before we could think of whether to give some other oral thing or painkiller and all that, she slept off. And the whole night she slept without any problem. Here is somebody who's been crying with pain. Nothing I've done except to pray to Swami and give her the vibhuti. That's the power of the vibhuti, you know. But the thing is, we all know this, but sometimes as human beings, we lack that faith. And without faith, the vibhuti will not work. Vibhuti is not a medicine, you know, we'll give it, it will work. Vibhuti is more than a medicine, but for it to work, we have to have the belief. And that belief and that faith, I'll come back to in a minute after talking about one more incident. This incident is after the Mahasamadhi. You would have read about it. It's in YouTube and it's there in my book and it's in many other places as well. There was a security guard in Sai Vrindavan, and just now I was happy to see that, you know, when Mohan Kumar was talking about his experiences, he showed Sai Vrindavan standing there, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to talk about Sai Vrindavan also. So this was after the Mahasamadhi, and one of the security guards who had been trained in Tamil Nadu, in our state, he had been trained, and then his first, the service that he got was in Sai Vrindavan. So he had heard about Swami. He didn't know Swami, had not met Swami, as it was after the Mahasamadhi, but he had heard of so many stories about Swami and his powers and how he heals and all that he had heard about. Now he had a mother who had some knee problem and therefore she could not walk. She was bedridden. So what this fellow did, when he was walking around the Sai Vrindavan during the night rounds, he was walking around, he was talking to Swami, okay, and saying, you know, they say that you are God, okay? People keep saying you are God and all that. I don't believe it. But if you are God, I am telling you something which you must do for me, okay? I will give you 5 days. He's telling Swami, okay, I will give you 5 days. Within that 5 days, you must cure my mother, okay? She must start walking. Her pain must go. She must start walking. If you do that, and if you show it to me, then I will believe that you're God. If you don't do it, then you're a fraud. You're not God. You're a fraud, okay? And I don't believe in you. But let's see whether you can do it or not. It's a challenge I'm giving you. Let's see whether you can cure my mother. So first day I was going round. He finished. Then next day he called his mother. Nothing had happened. Next day also it happened. Second day, nothing happened. Third day, nothing happened. Fourth day, he was very angry, you know, and he's walking around and he's telling, I knew that nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. You cannot cure and all. Simply all these are stories which are made up, saying you're God and all that. You are a fraud. I know nothing, you know. Suddenly he heard voice calling him, Bangaru, why are you so angry with me? He said. He turned around and he saw Swami standing there, okay, in the just outside Sai Vrindavan, where he is walking. Swami is standing there. He said, come. He called him by his name. So he said, how do you know my name? I know everything, Bangaru, but you're so angry. What I want to tell you is, why are you angry? You have given me 5 days, no? Today is only the 4th day. Then why you are getting so angry? You could have waited for one more day. If after tomorrow, 5th day, your mother is not cured, you could have, you know, got angry with me. First of all, how do you know your mother is not cured? Did you ask her? Why don't you ask her? Okay, and then after that, if she's not okay, then you can find fault with me. Never get angry with me. Okay. Once you have told me, I am there to look after my devotees. He said, and he just disappeared. He wasn't there. This man got scared because he thought, no, Swami is not there in his physical form. So he went running. And first thing he did was he called his mother and said, Mother, how are you? And she said, oh my God, something happened. My leg pain is gone. I'm able to walk now. I can't believe it, son. You know, I'm walking about now, no pain. Really, Amma, really happened. You should see me now. You know how I couldn't even get up. Now I'm just able to walk. Something happened to me. I can't explain what happened to me. I'm now cured. So he went and called the warden and he called everyone. And then there was a big commotion there. He said, I saw Swami. Where is Swami? it so happened, this happened on July 1st of that particular year when I had gone to Whitefield. So the next, I think the next July 3rd, I was there. I was supposed to give a talk to the Vrindavan campus students. So I was there, and so I'd heard the story through someone, and I said, "Is that man still there?" So he was there. So I went and asked him, "Where were you standing? Where was Swami standing? Which language he spoke to you? What this thing you do? What exactly did he say? What was he wearing? What was he? Everything possible?" Like an investigator, I asked him everything. It was absolutely true, because this man has never seen Swami, and he is accurately describing what happened. And I said, "No, your mother is cured. Yeah, she's able to walk. Yes." So, I mean, these are absolute miracles, and these miracles are happening after the Mahasamadhi, when Swami is no form even now. Okay. So you may, of course, that see, doubting Thomases will always be there, and they will always ask, why only to him? We are all sitting and praying, why only to him? That we cannot answer. See, there are many, many things about Swami that we cannot answer. Swami, and we cannot question also. Why, Swami, you cured that man, but you didn't cure this man? All that you cannot ask. It is his will, his sankalpa will prevail. Swami has said that my sankalpa will prevail. If we really earn it, we will get it. But whether we earn it or not, or whether we deserve it or not, that is for him to decide. It's not for us to decide. We cannot, we are nobody. We are just specks of dust on this earth. We are nothing. So once we believe, Swami, you do the best. In some cases, maybe not curing is the best part. Maybe we have to go through our karma. And if you read my book, lots of my wife's incidences are there. And so the point I'm trying to say is that we have been continuously blessed by him, and we are very, very privileged to be part of this avatar's mission. Because if we are not part of that avatar's mission, we would not be here today. I'm sure all of you do your own sadhana, every day, and each sadhana is different. For some, it may be Ashtotram, for some, it may be Suprabhatam, for some, it may be bhajan singing, for some, it may be just doing seva, for some, it may be doing something else, whatever. Seva, Swami gives you so many opportunities to do seva, and Swami gives you a lot of opportunities also to do your own sadhana, whatever you are doing. Please continue that, because all sadhanas Swami is aware of. There is absolutely no doubt. I'm sure if all of you are here, I can see 35 participants in this call, and there are many more listening on YouTube or whatever. So each one of you would have had experience to tell you that if you don't do your sadhana, Swami knows. If you do your sadhana, Swami knows. So in the interest of time, I'm not going to keep on telling you that. But I would like to tell you one thing, okay? And that is, let us add one more prayer to Swami. One more prayer. Apart, won't take much time. Okay. So this you're doing your daily sadhanas, you're doing a daily prayer. I don't know how many times you pray, but whatever you do, at least once a day, pray intently to Swami and ask him for only one thing. Okay. Swami, never, my only plea to you, Swami, I don't want anything else from you. Okay, you know my needs, you will take care of everything, you will take care of the whole world, samasta loka sukhino bhavantu, you will take care of all the beings and all the worlds, all that you will do. But for me, I need one thing from you. Never, ever reduce my faith in you. This is my only prayer. Never, ever reduce my faith in you. On the other hand, please increase my faith in you. I'm not asking for much. I'm only asking you to increase my faith in you by 1% every day. That's all I'm asking you. 1%, Swami. That's all I want. From yesterday to today, it should be 1% more. The aim of all the satsang is also that only. Why Swami is connecting us, why Swami made Lakshmi Turaga write to me and say, all I'm sitting here, I'm a doctor, busy. Just now after this, I have to go. I've got so many important meetings came up. I didn't want to say no to this because that is fixed up. I had to rush from here now when I finish. In spite of that, why we accept and why we come is because through such satsangs, Swami is giving us an opportunity to increase our faith. Okay, and that is the whole purpose of this. You keep on praying, Swami, help me to increase my faith by 1% every day. Now, if you do the maths, 1% every day is 365% in 1 year. Your faith has gone up by 365%. In 10 years, it has gone up by 3,650%. So even that little, it's like the little drops of water make the ocean. You may think it is nothing. Oh, it's just 1% more. You keep adding that 1%, 1%, 1%, your faith will always increase. And for that, we have to love Swami. And we have to love him unconditionally. Whatever he does. See, when Swami gives us something, it's very easy to love him. Okay, you've prayed that your child should come first in the exam. So when the child comes first in the exam, Swami, thank you so much, Swami, you made it come. But suppose you prayed for the child to come first in the exam, the child came fifth in the exam. Immediately, we don't feel like thanking Swami then. I asked you for first, you gave only fifth rank, Immediately the disappointment comes. At that moment, if our faith is so high, if we love him so much, we will say, Swami, I asked for fifth first, but you gave fifth. Your decision is best. Thy will be done. I surrender to your will. Your sankalpa only should prevail. You know what is best for my child. And coming fifth is the best for my child. I don't know that. I am stupid. I really don't know that. But you know, and that is what you think my child deserves, and that is what you've given. I accept it with all humility, with all happiness, with a true love. I accept it. That is what a true Sai devotee will say. If our faith is kind of borderline, shaking, one incident is enough and that's gone. Swami is gone now because we wanted something, Swami didn't give it, so it's gone. Our faith should be unshakable, like a rock. It should stand, so that whatever comes, earthquake comes, anything comes, this will always stay. And that strength, that faith will take you through the samskara of life. It will go through the whole ocean of life. You can go like a boat. He will just take you safely, and you will also always be blissful also. Satchitananda, always, because there's nothing for you to go. What will happen? I may get an injury, I may lose my leg, I may lose my this, but still Swami is there for me. Okay, nothing can touch me. It is all between me and Swami. Once you have that faith, nothing in the world can shake you. The deepest of tragedies, the greatest of tragedies, whatever happens to you, still Swami is there. It is Swami's will, and he knows best. That is the faith which we should all try to aspire for. Once, Anil Kumar was talking in Prashanti Nilayam, and at that time, he said, he was just giving a speech, and he said, first comes faith, he said. And once you have faith, you will have love. After he finished his speech, Swami corrected him. And he said, no, Anil Kumar, it's not like that. First comes love. If you have love, then faith will follow. It's not the other way around. If you have faith, love will come. If you have love, so the basis for faith is love. And that love should be unconditional. Come what may, our love for Swami will never go away. Okay? Because let us remember that Swami is around us, below us, above us, in front of us. He is behind us, he's outside us, and most importantly, he's inside us. He's always residing there. He's a Hridaya Nivasi. So he's right inside there. He is living there. And therefore, once Swami is there inside you, why should you worry? What are you afraid of? Nothing can happen to you when Swami is there, right there. But having had so much of his blessings, and I'm sure all of you would have been blessed in your own way. If you had a satsang now and asked all of you to open up, whole week we can be here and the experiences of Swami will not end, because his leelas are just unimaginable. They're continuous, like a flow, like the waves come again and again and again. His waves of love keep coming again and again and again to us. All of us are very, very, very blessed to be under his divine fold. But with that, also I feel comes responsibility. It's not one-way traffic, no? From Swami, you give, we'll take. What is it you're going to give back to Swami? Okay, Swami has given you so much with the idea that you will also do your bit, not for him. He doesn't need anything. What does he need? The creator of the universe needs something from us. What are you going to give him? Flower? He only created it. What are you going to give him? Your books? He only created that. Or your watch? That only is created by him. Your money? He only gave it to you. You're returning it back to him. What does he want? You know, what he wants is only our love and our faith. He doesn't want anything else. And for that love and faith, he has given us those 8 words. You can read all the Upanishads, you can read all the Vedas, you can read all Bhagavad Gita, you can read Quran, you can read Bible, you can read anything, any religious book in the world, you can read and can read it again and again. They cannot be beaten by these 8 words which Swami has given us. Love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. 8 words, enough. You don't need to read anything else. If these 8 words you focus, I must love everybody, I must serve everybody, I'll help everybody, I won't hurt anybody. That's it. That is the entire essence. Swami has distilled it and given the entire essence in 8 words. Any other speech, any other discourse, anything else only connects all this. And without these 8 words, whatever you do, be the greatest scholar, you can read Bhagavad Gita from back to front, the 18th chapter backwards, every sentence, every sloga you can tell. It's worthless unless you practice this, help ever, hurt never. I'll tell you a little story also about that. I had a Hindu priest who came to my center a few years ago, and in my hospital, all these slogans are written. Hands that help are holier than lips that pray. Outside my hospital gate, the main Gopalapuram center where we have, love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never is written. Now, when I write that, some patients will come and say, you have written there, love all, serve all, help all, but you didn't help me. When I go and ask them, why, what is it we didn't do? I was trying to park my scooter here, and they came, the Gurkha fellow said, come and take it away. If you love me enough, you should allow me to park it there. Then when I look into the matter, it's a no parking area. You're not supposed to park there, he says, no, it doesn't matter. You've written love all, serve all, no? So then how you can not allow me to park there? If you really love me, you must allow me to park. I said, sir, that's all correct. But then there are also what's called as the laws of the land, which Swami has said to follow, When Swami has said, follow the laws of the land, the law of the land says no parking there. If I really love you, I will not allow you to park there, otherwise the police will come and catch you, So because of my love for you, I'm allowing you not to park there. Otherwise, I'm not actually loving you. But some people, are not able to understand that. But this thing, coming back to this Hindu priest, hands that help are holier than lips that pray. He read that down. He had gone down to the basement, and there he saw these words. When he came charging up to my room, and he came running up, and I wanted to see him. He said, and he just barged, pushed my secretary aside, and came into my room. So I was taken aback. This man is coming and shouting at me. See, doctor, you may be an atheist, but it doesn't mean that you have to spread all this blasphemy everywhere. He said, I'm not an atheist. Why are you saying I'm an atheist? Oh, that's what you write. No, people should not pray and all you've written. I said, did I say people should not pray? I pray 5 times a day. Why would I say, not to pray? No, downstairs you've written people should not pray. I said, what have I written downstairs? Something you've written, some hands that help, or something you've written, not to pray you've written. I said, no, did you read it carefully what I've written? That's, first of all, I didn't write it. It's Swami's words. Hands that help are holier than lips that pray. That means lips that pray are also holy, but hands that help are holier than lips that pray. So I've not said don't pray, and I said that's not holy. I'm saying that this is holier than that. No, this is all blasphemy. How can hands that help be holier? Praying is the most holy thing. How can you say that is not holy and something is greater than that? So I told him 2-3 quick points. I'll tell you. Number one, this is written in our hospital, okay? And I didn't come to your temple and write it there. If I had come and said you put it in your temple, you can say I don't believe in it. You have every right. Similarly, in my institution, I have the right to put whatever I want. If you don't like it, close your eyes and go. Why are you even looking at that? You can say this is blasphemy and you go. I didn't ask you to read it. I didn't ask you to react. Why are you reacting to this? Number one. Number two, these are not my words. Okay. You see that at the bottom is written Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba. Bhagavan Baba is there in Puttaparthi. It was there when he was there. So I said, you go, you ask him. He will explain to you what it means. Okay. I put this for my staff to help everybody. Hands that help are holier. So I'm asking them, use your hands to help people, to help you. That's what I've written. You're still kind of half convinced, but not fully convinced. Then I told him, okay, now let me explain to you in a different way. Let's say this prayer that you're talking about, let's say it's my prayer time. Okay. And now, right now, when you are down there, I am sitting here and praying. I cannot be disturbed now. Okay. And I told everyone during my prayer time, nothing will come and disturb me. I'm going to pray. At that particular time, unfortunately, when they were taking the blood or taking something, you fell unconscious. Okay. You felt giddy and you become unconscious. They come running to me and say, sir, the patient is okay. Don't disturb me. This is my prayer time. I cannot be disturbed. Okay. Sir, but the patient is dying. No, don't disturb me. This is my prayer time. This is my holy time. When I pray, when I communicate with Swami. And so please don't disturb me. So I said, if that had happened and I had not come to help you, leaving my prayer, is that the right thing? Which do you think God will help? God will like? God will like me sitting here, continuing to pray for him? And I also asked him, okay, what is the thing that we pray for? Most of us, oh, give me a better job. Oh, Swami, make me give this talk better to Kansas Sai Center so that all of them will applaud afterwards, and they finish. I must get few more claps, a few more, recognition I must get. Or, today I must have more patients. I must make more money, or, help me to do something else. Most of our prayer is for materialistic things. My mother is not well, make her okay. That Muslim gentleman is not okay, make him all right. All the time we are praying for something from Swami. It's usually a selfish motive. Okay. Most of the prayer, sorry to say, most of the prayer is selfish motive, but nothing wrong in it, because that prayer only gives you the strength to go on. Without that prayer, we'll all crash. And therefore, Swami is giving us through that prayer the strength to bear whatever we have got. So prayer is fantastic. But in Swami's mind, in Swami's evaluation, you are going to help somebody. Doing seva is much better. And that gave the same example to this man. And I said, if you are now having a problem, and I said, no, I will not, my hands will not come to help you, but my hands will sit here and my lips will be praying. Which do you think is more important? Then he understood. And he said, I'm sorry, doctor, I got carried away. I thought, because I come from a temple. I said, lastly, you're a person who is from the temple. You should be so calm. You should not get excited. The first sign of somebody who is spiritually evolved is that you're calm. Nothing will disturb you. Even if you find somebody that there is no God in this world, okay, that's for him. I believe that there's a God. One day God will show you that God is there for you. That is the attitude to shake. Don't go and fight with them. Oh, you're saying God is not there, this thing. Then your own peace is going to go. Your own health is going to go. You will not be able to focus on your job. You continue to do your job in such a way that people will get inspired. People will get inspired and they will come to God. That is how you should do. Not go and fight them and try to show off to them and so on. So then he finally understood. So coming back to what is our responsibility that we have. Our responsibility is, number one, of course, being in the organization to continue to do what Swami has asked us to do. We need not reinvent the wheel, okay? But try to expand. Swami always says, expansion is my life. So whatever you're doing, if you keep little expanding, soon it will be touching the lives of more and more people. Try to love more and more people, more and more all the time. Not only the number of people, but also increase your love to an extent that you're always loving somebody. You have no hate within you because you're always loving somebody. There is no place for hate or jealousy within you. So that is something which will come automatically when you start practicing it. Very, very important that we have to connect to the source. And that source is Prashanti Nilayam. Think about it. For a Sai devotee, okay, if you're not a Sai devotee, you're a Catholic, okay? You're a Christian, you're a Catholic. The most holy places in this world, you have to go to Israel, where Jesus Christ lived, or you'll probably go to the Vatican, where the Pope is. There is a headquarters of Catholic religion. You'll probably go there. And at least you have to keep going there a couple of times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Then only you are able to connect to that source. Why do the devotees of Buddha come all the way to India, where Buddhism is even hardly practiced today? Okay, and a few pockets may be there. Why do they come and see where was Buddha born? Which is that neem tree? Can we find that? Where did Buddha sit? Where did he get enlightenment? Where did he give his last discourse? Where did he? Everything we are trying to connect, because we are trying to connect to that source. Why do Muslims go to Mecca or Medina? Because that is their ultimate converging point. You can sit in any mosque, you can sit in your home, you can sit anywhere, but there is one point of convergence for everything. Okay, why do we have a fan in the room? We say there is air everywhere, so why do you need this fan? There is air everywhere, but the fan kind of concentrates that air and gives you breeze, and gives you a cooling breeze. Similarly, when you go to a holy place where thousands of people, lakhs of people are converging, the power of that place, the vibration of that place has to be seen and experienced for you to believe it. And we have all experienced it. Whenever we go to Prashanthi Nilayam, we come back completely recharged. Our spiritual batteries are completely recharged. We come back full of energy, full of good thoughts, good vibrations. Everything is refilled for us. After some time, slowly it will begin to go. Again, go back and recharge. It's like recharging your battery, recharging your mobile phone. However much mobile phone you have, after some time it's going to go away until you recharge it. Every night you recharge it, then it is full. Take the electric car. You have to charge it. It'll run for some time. Then it'll go off. Again, it gets charged. Everything in life is like that. Our own beliefs are like that. Our faith is like that. It needs to get charged again and again. Otherwise, we have a human mind which is wavering all the time. Other doubts will come, thoughts will come. Soon we have lost it. And that is why that prayer, that 1% more, I kept talking about. And one way by which not 1%, several percent more will come every time you go to Prashanthi Nilayam. So never forget Prashanthi Nilayam. Never say there is a vacuum. Never say that there is nobody there. Why are people going to Shirdi? Shirdi Baba statues are there all over. So many temples are there. I'm sure even in your own Kansas, you'll find Shirdi Baba temples there. There's no place in the world today without a Shirdi Baba temple, isn't it? Same Shirdi Baba only sitting everywhere. So why are you going to Prashanthi Nilayam? Or why are you going to Shirdi first? Why don't you just pray in there? The Lord is omnipresent. He's there everywhere. So why do we need to go? We need to go because if you look at the 11 diktats given by Shirdi Baba, 3 or 4 of them relate to Shirdi. He says, whoever touches the soil of Shirdi is blessed. Your sins are taken away. He says, from my tomb I will continue to bless you. He says, my bones will continue to bless you. I will take care of your family. If you take 1 step towards me, I take 10 steps towards you. All these things have been told by Shirdi Baba. We all believe that Shirdi Baba and Satya Sai Baba are the same. So if he has said it when he is in the Shirdi Baba avatar, it goes without saying that Prashanthi Nilayam and Puttaparthi is also the same. It's a holy place. In fact, it should be our goal to contribute at least a little bit to make Prashanthi Nilayam the spiritual capital of the whole world. Think about it. Every other place that I mentioned has one religion there attached. It can be a Catholic religion, it can be Protestant, it can be Muslim, Islam, it can be, even if you go to, a temple, a Hindu god is being worshipped, nothing wrong in that. I'm a Hindu, I worship all the Hindu gods. But here is an avatar, for the first time I know of, where he has actually put the symbols of all the religions together and said there is only one religion, the religion of love. There is only one caste, the caste of humanity. Such a beautiful kind of amalgamation of all religions, all paths, all faiths, all kind of merging into one place, Prashanthi Nilayam. When he first told his mother that he was leaving, his mother only asked him one thing. Okay, I am asking you only for one favor. Stay in Puttaparthi. Please don't leave Puttaparthi. If you are who you say you are, everybody will come to Puttaparthi to see you. And that's what happened in his lifetime. The whole world started converging on Prashanthi Nilayam. But now that he has left it to us, members of the organization, trusts, and his devotees to take forward this mission. And what's that mission for? Not to glorify him, but to unite everyone, unite the whole world in a kind of love which has never been propagated before, which has never been experienced before. All religions joining together. Therefore, no religion, but only spirituality. Our organization is known for its spirituality, not for its religion. We are not a religious organization at all. We are a spiritual organization. We are here for the betterment of humanity. And that is a lofty goal which Baba has given us. Our own Bhagavan has given us that. And in that, we play a small role. Let us play that role well. It may be a side role, maybe a minor role, maybe anything. But that role you play to your perfection. And for that, there is no getting away from the fact that you have to be connected to Prashanthi Nilayam. Because without that, oh, there's no Prashanthi Nilayam, but I'll sit in my home and I will pray. That's fine. But think of the fan, the power, what it does. You're missing out on that. If that's your choice, that's your choice. That's fine. Perfect. Go ahead. But if I would say, from my own personal experience, every time I've gone there, I've come back so much charged. And this happens long after the Mahasamadhi as well, because Swami is there. That is not a Samadhi. That is a living Samadhi which is there. Just to touch that Samadhi, we should be blessed. Swami has said, without my grace, none of you can enter Prashanthi Nilayam, isn't it? So we need his grace 100% even to enter Prashanthi Nilayam, to sit there, to touch the Samadhi, feel his presence, feel the vibrations that are there, and to get recharged by him. Getting our spiritual batteries recharged, I think, is very, very, very important. In 4 years' time, we'll be having the centenary celebrations of our beloved Bhagavan. And in this centenary celebrations, we all have a large role to play. It is what we do today for the next 4 years and beyond, which is going to decide the course of this organization. Organizations, trusts, and the work is carried out by people with Swami's help. But ultimately, you are the one who is doing it. And if our aim is pure, if our aim is only to help people, I don't see any reason why Swami will not bless that. And his blessings will come in abundance. And he will always be there. He will take care of your personal welfare. He will take care of you. He will take care of your family. He will take care of your circles. He'll take care of your Sai Center. He will take care of everybody who just thinks of him. All he wants you is to remember him, to think of him, to be grateful, to be humble, to pray to him. And then he will definitely do his magic. There is absolutely no doubt about that. So let us thank Swami for making us his humble instruments. That's why I said in the end of my CV, it was read out, that's the greatest honor that I got. I'll just tell you a small story about them. Then I want to tell you a prayer, and that will leave some time for questions if you have questions. So the first, I was, started as a devotee. I came into his fold, and then I was so impressed by all the work going on, leave alone his own glory, his own manifestations, his own miracles, by the organization, the structure, how it is done, the discipline, all that. I was very, very much impressed, but I was not part of the organization. Suddenly one day I got a call, and they said, can you, first of all, I was made a trustee. I got a letter from Prashanthi Nilayam saying that Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba wants you to, would like you to be a member of the Sri Satya Sai Trust Tamil Nadu. So I said, oh my God, I mean, made a trust member. I never thought that I'll get into the trust or organization. I'm only a humble devotee. Then I accepted it in all faith, because anyway I was working with the organization. I was doing free camps. I said, okay, I can do something more if I'm a trustee. And then when the convener of the trust, Sri G.K. Raman, who was the chairman of Shri Ram Finance, you or many of you know him, he passed away suddenly in Prashanthi Nilayam. You know that he died in Swami's hands, literally. And after that, the post is kept vacant. And it was not getting filled up at all. So people, the All India president, the state president of Tamil Nadu Satya Sai organization, they would meet Swami and say, Swami, whom shall we appoint as the convener of the Satya Sai Trust Tamil Nadu? Swami would say, wait, wait. Then after another week or 2 weeks, again they'll go back. Swami, a lot of checks to be signed, lot of receipts to be given, donations are coming in. I told you, wait. I'm aware of it. Wait, wait. I will tell you, wait, he said. Now at that time, until that time, I was taking non-vegetarian food. Okay. Something happened in my life, which I described in the book actually, but I'm not going to go into that. Something happened when we decided, my wife and I decided that we'll turn vegetarian. So one day, it was actually in October 2007, I think it was 2007, October, 14 years ago, when we decided, okay, we become vegetarian from today. So we had just taken that decision to become a vegetarian. And for 2 or 3 days after that, Swami called the All India President, V. Srinivasan was the All India President at that time, called him and said, ask Dr. Mohan whether he would like to be that Swami said that he would like him to be the convener of the Tamil Nadu Satyasai Trust. Tell him Swami knows he's very busy, but will he take it up? Swami had suggested, can you just beat it, Avatar, you know? So I get this call and I'm on the phone and I'm not expecting this. I had no inkling that my name was even being considered for it. And just after I became vegetarian, so that is what he was waiting for. Swami wanted me to turn vegetarian. He knew I'm going to become vegetarian, and which I did not know. He knew. So he's just waiting for that day to make me the convener, you know. So from there, you know, I just came out from Swami's room and Swami is asking me to ask you whether you will accept to be the convener of the Tamil Nadu Trust. So I'm hearing this on my phone and my wife is standing next to me. And I'm kind of shocked. I don't know what else time, because I'm so busy that I'm not sure whether, you know, I'll be able to take this up and do. So it came as a shock to me. So I said, oh, convener, Tamil Nadu Trust. I'm just saying. My wife standing next to me, she said, say yes, say yes. It's bigger than a Nobel Prize. Say yes, she was saying. So one side wife is saying, say yes, say Nobel Prize, bigger than Nobel Prize. And here he's holding the line, you know. I said, yeah. She said, come on, say yes, say yes, say yes. And I said, yes. I'm very, very honored, you know, please tell Swami, I'm very, very honored. And I will, you know, humbly accept this. Then he went. And then 2 minutes later, he called back and he said, I've told Swami. Swami is very happy that you accepted. You'll be soon getting the letter. You'll be taking her as a convener. And we'll tell you, we'll guide you what to do and all that. Then I turned to my wife and I said, phone call is going on. Why are you standing at the side and saying something? And why are you talking irrelevant things, you know? Nobel Prize. Why are you talking about Nobel Prize? Why are you coming Nobel Prize with this? We're talking about Satyasai organization. We're talking about convener of the post. And you're talking about Nobel Prize. What is the connection between this and Nobel Prize? Tell me. I said, so angry with her, you know. I said, why are you talking like this? She said, didn't you understand that it's bigger than Nobel Prize? I said, how can you compare with Nobel Prize? What is this to compare with Nobel Prize? Then she said, who makes the chief minister of who elects the chief minister of a state? All the MLAs elect. What's a big thing? Who elects the, you know, prime minister of or the president of the United States? All the senators or whatever, he stands for election and he wins, and whatever state by state they vote, they have a mechanism. They're all human beings, no? She said. I said, yeah, of course they're human beings. Then she said, who gives a Nobel Prize? Some committee sits there, some Nobel Prize committee sits there, and then they give the Nobel Prize. Human beings only, no? She said. I said, yeah, of course, they're human beings only. Who selected you as the convener of the Satyasai Trust? I said, oh my God, I didn't realize that. It's coming from the Avatar. You know, the Avatar himself has selected me. Now, is it bigger than a Nobel Prize? A committee of fellows sitting down together, you know, inni, mini, mina, mo, this guy, that guy, no, this guy, no, he put some pressure, and no, this fellow has done something, no, Sweden has not got so many years, US has not got so many, all kinds of, then they decide, okay, this fellow gets a Nobel Prize. After 2 years, nobody will even know who got the Nobel Prize. You know, the highest prize in the world, nobody will know. Olympic gold medal, somebody gets it. Now, if I ask you, 2000 and something, who got the Nobel Prize for something, you will not, who got the Olympic gold medal, you will not know. This is not like that. This is serving Swami's organization, being selected by the avatar. It is much bigger than a Nobel Prize. That is what I'm trying to tell you, she said. I started crying. I didn't realize what a big position you're getting, to be with Swami, to help him, to take part in his work and to be selected by the avatar. And that's why in my CV, which is read out, he considers this position as the highest. What else I can get? Even if you read out, I got a Nobel Prize. Okay, I got Nobel Prize. That is not similar to, helping Swami and being in his organization and doing work and continuing the work started by the divine avatar. There is nothing bigger than that in the whole world. So, brothers and sisters, let me tell you, there's nothing bigger than that. So you are all blessed souls. You're all totally blessed by Swami. Otherwise, you will not be able to enter this organization. You will not be part of it at all. My only request is, stay connected. Stay connected. That is why we were surprised from the Global Council when we said we are starting a Global Council where all will be together. I'm not going to go into that thing at all. But all we said was that let the international organization, national organization, central trust all sit together in one committee. You all continue your old work, but in one place, like a tree coming together, like the roots of the tree all going down together. Let those roots be in Prashanti Nilayam. That is where the avatar lived. That is the person for whom we are all working. So let us stay connected to that. I don't see anything wrong in this. To my simple mind, there's no other choice. To call yourself Sai devotee, not be connected to Prashanti Nilayam is totally not even acceptable, So that is the point that I wanted to tell you all. Whatever you do, you continue your sadhana, do your personal work and all that. Keep that personal rapport with Prashanti Nilayam. With Prashant, it's Swami, not with any of us. You don't have to come meet the trustees, don't meet anything. Who are we? We are like servants of the Lord. Don't even think of it, don't even see us, don't even wish us if you see us. But please get connected to Prashanti Nilayam, the holy ground where Swami is there, because that I think will stand you in good stead. Before I finish, I want you all to repeat a prayer. You don't have to unmute. You can say it yourself. If one thing I see is unmuted, so if that person wants to say, if Lakshmi or somebody wants to join, you can say that. But I want you to all repeat this prayer after me. And after that, I will conclude.
Sure, Sairam.
Om Shri Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sairam.
The light of Sai surrounds me.
The
The light of Sai surrounds me.
The love of Sai enfolds me.
The love of Sai enfolds me.
The grace of Sai protects me.
The grace of Sai protects me.
The presence of Sai watches over me.
The presence of Sai watches over me.
The mind of Sai guides me.
The mind of Sai guides me.
The life of Sai flows through me.
The life of Sai flows through me.
The laws of Sai direct me.
The laws of Sai directs me.
The power of Sai abides within me.
The power of Sai abides within me.
The joy of Sai uplifts me.
The joy of Sai uplifts me.
The strength of Sai renews me.
The strength of Sai renews me.
The beauty of Sai inspires me.
The beauty of Sai inspires me.
And the last one, I wanted to say it 3 times. The formless Sai is within me.
The formless Sai within me.
The formless Sai is 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 within me.
Om Jai Sai Ram. Thank you
Om.
for inviting me, and may Swami continue to bless and to guide all of you. If there is time for a few questions, I would be happy to take. Otherwise, I leave it to you to complete the rest of the satsang. Thank you very much. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you so much, Dr. V. Mohan. Does anyone have any questions? Please unmute if you have any questions. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Dr. Mohan, and I have read your book, and it was also kind of either it's a coincidence or other thing. I had gone to St. Louis, and one of my friends, Chuck Chakravarti, said, "Oh, Dr. Mohan was here, and you should read his book." But I tell you, there is no substitute to listening your experience. Even though I read the same experience in the book, when I heard from you, it was just amazing. Even if you tell this me 100 times, I will enjoy it. And I really, really appreciate the talk given to us. And thank you so much.
Brother Suresh, thank you so much. Every time I'm invited to talk, this is one of my hesitations, because in the book I poured out my heart, and also on Radio Sai I have talked many of these, and these are, you know, such true miracles that you know, although daily miracles do happen, but some of these are so powerful and so moving that I have to talk about it. So one of my fears is, am I going to say the same thing and people are, oh, he's going to start about that Muslim gentleman again, he's going to start. So it's very reassuring to hear from you that even though you have heard the story, it's good. I remember once, you know, to All India Institute, I used to All India Radio, I used to go to give talks on diabetes. And you know, every second week, 1 month, they'll call me to All India Radio. And when I go and sit there, the first thing they'll ask is, "Doctor, can you tell us the symptoms of diabetes?" And at one time I said, "Come on, please stop. You know, I mean, I can't do this, you know, every 2 weeks, and people will be getting fed up of this." So then she told me, the person who's interviewing me said, "Doctor, stop. Let me tell you something. You know, we have the statistics of All India Radio, and the you know, the reader, the audience who are listening to us, our listeners. There, if you say this talk today and tomorrow you give the same talk, ditto, you know, there's only about 8 to 10% of people will be there tomorrow compared to today. The audience is completely different. So 92% are different. Second, that 8% who have listened to you, if after 2-3 months you come, they retain only 5% of what you're told. As you're talking, oh yeah, he said that sometime. The people are not going to remember everything that you said. So you just don't worry, you just carry on and treat it like a new audience. So I said, oh, I didn't know this. You know, this is reassuring. This, to me, it's so boring. You know, when you ask me the same thing again and again, I'm talking the same thing. So Brother Suresh, thank you for telling me that. That gives me a lot of, nobody has actually told me this. So this is new to me. So
Thank you. Because particularly that Muslim gentleman and that one, I read it, but there is no substitute listening to from you. It was just amazing. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Brother Suresh.
Dr. Mohan, thanks very much for your wonderful stories. I just wanted to mention that your stories are like an insulin shot to the ignorance of people. It takes away the ignorance and restores belief over there. So these are wonderful stories, very vibrant, full of punch. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Raj.
Sairam brother, அருமையா பேசுனீங்க, ரொம்ப பிரமாதமா இருந்தது. If you don't mind, you can give us the tips that whoever asked you that question, that what are the symptoms or whatever precautions we need to take. That will be what do you call a tip for everybody. So
diabetes
ஆமாங்க, சொல்லுங்க
Okay.
சொல்லுங்க.
சரிங்க. I'll talk in English because many of you, last time, 2 weeks ago, I was talking to the Sri Lanka devotees, and they wanted the talk in satsang in Tamil. So when I talked in Tamil, I was then you know, surprised at the end when people told me that many of them don't know Tamil. They only know Sinhala and they don't know Tamil. I said, why do you ask me to talk in Tamil? They said, no, that section they listen to Tamil, but then when you come now, you speak in English for us and all that. So I know that talking in Tamil is good, but it will not reach everyone. So the symptoms of diabetes are, you know, the first thing is, remember, symptoms about diabetes is that you need not have any symptoms at all. It's called as a silent disease. 50% of people don't have any symptoms. When you just go and check up, you'll find your blood sugar is 200, 300, and you need not have any symptoms at all until it's very late. Until some organ gets affected, you may not have symptoms. So don't wait for symptoms. Above the age of 20, 30, if you're an Indian, please go for a checkup annually, because the earlier you pick it up, the earlier you can reverse it or bring it to normal. But the usual symptoms are excessive thirst, excessive urination, going to the toilet, feeling tired, wounds which don't heal, numbness of the feet, blurring of vision, and pins and needles kind of sensation in the feet. These are all or some skin manifestations. The genital area, you may get some infection, both men and women. These are all common symptoms of diabetes. But as I said, don't wait for symptoms. If you get symptoms, you're lucky. At least it's warned you. But the problem is, without symptoms, people get diabetes, and that can go on for many years until it produces damage. Diabetes is so high among Indians that it's worth going for. I don't think if I ask you all, is there a single family, is a single person here who doesn't know of somebody who has diabetes? I don't think any one of you will be able to tell me. It is so rampant that in every family there is somebody, at least if you yourself have not got it, somebody whom you know in your family already has diabetes. So it's so common that everybody should go for their checkup. And if some of you are coming down to India anytime, if you have contacts and you're coming down to Chennai, I'll be very happy to see you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Does anyone else have any more questions?
We suggest any healthy lifestyle.
One question I have, Dr. V. Mohan, is like based on what Swami has told you about leading a healthy lifestyle, would you provide, would you like to give any tips on that?
Yeah. So again, in my book, it is there. One whole chapter is there on that. In one of the interviews, Swami asked me, what is the cause of, why is diabetes rising so rapidly in India? So I thought, my ego immediately went up and I thought, oh, about diabetes, he's asking me. But that time we had discovered some new gene which Indians have. And so I thought he's showing his knowledge about that, his omniscience about that. So I said, gene, Swami. I just gave a hint like that, gene, Swami, I said. Then he, in 1 second, he deflated me. He told me, but the same genes were there 40 years ago, no? Why there was not so much diabetes then? Now why there is diabetes? Our genes didn't change, no? He said, that's all. I got completely deflated. Then I said, then I made one more attempt. I said, Swami, we are not exercising enough. Partly correct, but there is something else which you have not analyzed. It is there in your research. Please analyze it. That is why I'm telling you. And he said, it's excessive white rice. We take too much of rice. This rice, when you take, the sugar level tends to go up. He said the glycemic index is high, so it will go up. Then it will pull out all the insulin from the pancreas. The pancreas loses the insulin and you become diabetic, he said. And then he asked me, correct, doctor? He asked me. I said, Swami, you're always correct. There's no question of you not being correct. There's 100% correct. Then go and do the research. You have already done it. You've got the data also. He knows I've done it. I've got the data. I have not thought of analyzing it. He told me analyze it. When I analyzed it, the amount of rice, we divided Chennai into 4 quartiles of the amount, little rice, little more, maximum. I saw the diabetes went up like that, just to the rice intake, it went up like that. After correcting for obesity and family history, socioeconomic status, after correcting everything, rice was directly connected. So we published this paper in British Journal of Nutrition, but then they said it's a cross-sectional study. In a cross-sectional study, there could be other confounders and so on. I had to wait for 10 years to do the pure study. Pure study involves the whole world, 25 countries, 155,000 people, followed up for 15 years. Those who did not have diabetes, who developed diabetes over 15 years time. That's a longitudinal study, one of the largest study ever done in the world. So we took people who had taken rice more and then saw how many developed, how many are not taking rice developed. In South Asia, there was a clear correlation between new onset of diabetes, exactly what Swami had said to me. And he had just told me like that casually in an interview, he talked to me about it and it came true. So he told me that he himself, takes ragi balls, sangati. That's where I learned. Then he asked me, sangati? I said, I don't know. Then he said, ragi balls. Swami takes only sangati, he told me. So ragi is healthier because it has more protein. The carbs are about the same, but it doesn't increase sugar as fast as white rice. So that he has told me. The value of exercise he has told me. The value of yoga and meditation he has told me. So he has talked to 2-3 times to me about diabetes. He has talked about healthy living. Then when he asked what is the cause of diabetes, I said, hari vari curry, I said. He said, no, I said that about heart attack. I didn't say that about diabetes, he said. So he corrected me. So for heart attacks, it's hari, vari, and curry. You know, hari, hari, hari all the time. Your personality that leads to that. Worry, mental tension. Curry, in the sense, wrong food, wrong diet, more fatty foods, more rich foods. So Swami has everything so nicely encapsulated into small, small things which you can never forget in your life once he tells you. So. But
Dr.
Swami was
Mohan,
also a great believer, not only of lifestyle, healthy living, preventive medicine. He went on and he has given me direct instructions how to conduct the camp in Kodaikanal, what to tell the people. He said, have awareness campaign, have a kind of exhibition, teach them what to eat, what to think. Those kind of things on one side he has said. But he never discounted the importance of hospitals. And that is why he built the hospitals. I mean, he could have, the wave of a hand, he could have cured anyone, like he did in the people whom I told you. But he didn't choose that. He wanted to give an opportunity for people to serve. And therefore, doctors, nurses, paramedical people, the whole, and also the Sevadals and everybody, the whole country, whole world to come together. And therefore, those temples of healing and the temples of learning that he has established will always remain as the, the crown jewels in his organizations. And therefore, I feel we have an responsibility to support those as well, because these are trying times with COVID and things like that. So they need to be supported as well in whatever way all of us can.
I have
Dr.
one.
Mohan, just to labor
Yeah.
that point, just one more, a little further. What is the role of oil in diabetes?
Oil. So not all oils are the same, and there are, in our experience and far as the South Asians is concerned, the mono unsaturated fatty oils, which includes groundnut oil and gingerly oil. These two oils are eminently suited to our cooking. Of course, abroad you have corn oil and olive oil and all that, but those are not suited for Indian cooking. Olive oil you cannot use for Indian cooking. You can use it if you're seasoning it or putting it on your salad or putting it on bread or something. You can use olive oil. But for cooking, Indian cooking, groundnut oil is the best as far as South Indians are concerned. In East India and Bengal, they use mustard oil, which is also almost similar to groundnut oil. Gingerly oil is also a monounsaturated fat. Next in the category comes the polyunsaturated fats, or the PUFA oils. These are your sunflower oil and Safola and Sanola and those kind of brands. The last category will come the saturated fats, palm oil and coconut oil and so on. But ultimately, it all comes down to the amount of oil that you take. It's not what you take, but how much you take. So as long as you're limiting your oil, even if it is coconut oil, which is saturated fat, which will increase the cholesterol, no doubt. But if you're taking only less of it and you're taking the thing, that's fine. People in Kerala are still taking it. We can't say everybody in Kerala is dying because of coconut oil. But you have to be careful. You know that it's saturated fat. That's all.
Does it inhibit metabolism?
Which oil? The oil itself?
No, oil itself, because when you use oil for cooking, does it in any way impede metabolism in such a way that it prevents the metabolism of blood sugar, which results in insulin drop?
Much more than that is the is the carbohydrate, because our diets in US it may be different, but in India people take carbohydrate 3 times a day. And if you see the total amount of percentage of carbohydrate which is taken, it is about 70 to 75% of your total calories comes from there. The oil and everything else put together comes the other 25%. So if you take the actually calorie for calorie and the actual amounts consumed, carbohydrates will eclipse everything else. And so if you cut down on your carbohydrate, of course, how much oil are you going to take? You're not going to take teaspoon after teaspoon after oil. You're not going to take. You're going to take the oil used for cooking, which is a limited quantity. So as long as the healthy oil, in fact, some of these healthy oils like the groundnut oil and so on, they're actually healthy. They're healthy oils and they don't increase the cholesterol and so on. So use less oil, whichever oil you like, preferably the monounsaturated fats, but cut down on the carbs. That's the most important thing. Try to cut down on the carbs, increase the vegetables intake, because we hardly take, especially South Indians, they hardly take salads and so on. North Indians take a little bit more. So we must take salads, and whether it's tomato or cucumber or carrot, or doesn't matter, with green leafy vegetable, beans and spinach and kirai and whatever you want to take, but you must try to take it with every meal if possible. At least a little bit of salad. Morning for breakfast, you can have tomato and salad. Afternoon, you have one big bowl of whatever vegetable. Night, again, you try to take that. They will prevent diabetes, they'll prevent obesity, they'll prevent cancers, they'll prevent so many things. The amount of nutrients you have in there, the amount of antioxidants you have in there, the amount of goodness you have in that, you cannot beat with anything else. So you must take that. One fruit a day is also good, even if you have diabetes. That also gives you antioxidants and so on. And then protein. Indians lack protein in their diet, especially the vegetarians, and most Sai devotees may be vegetarian. So how do you get protein? This is something which Swami has taught me. You say that vegetarians don't get enough protein. I disagree with you, and all he told me. And he told me how many things contain protein, Bengal gram, green gram, black gram, rajma, mushroom, milk, all these contain protein. So if we are able to take enough protein with our meals and enough of green leafy vegetables, your diet is totally healthy. After that, whatever else you do, it doesn't matter. You've really protected yourself. And you will find that your weight comes down, your sugar comes down, your insulin resistance comes down, your blood pressure will come down, heart disease can be prevented, and cancers can be prevented. And whichever diet you go through, these same principles will come back. So I'm not talking about keto diet, paleo diet, this diet, that diet, Atkins diet, this diet. They're all fads. Forget about it. You take your own food, take less of carbs, add more protein, add vegetables and fruit. That's the best diet. No other diet you need to pay some costly diet and buy milkshakes and drink it and this and that. They're all artificially processed. They're not good for you in the long run. They may even produce harm to you. So don't try all this. Just stick to your own thing, and that's good enough for you.
Thank
Can
you
I
very
ask
much.
one question, very quick question?
Yeah, please.
Sairam, so I mean, because of this COVID, when do you think like it will be safe to travel to India from US? I mean, assuming that you are vaccinated and all, any guidance on that?
See, it's both ways. Both US also has to allow you to come back and to be thing, plus to India to come. People have already started traveling. Recently, one of my friends went to UK and came back. The only thing was he had to take an RT-PCR test here. Then after going to UK, they don't believe our test. They will do it again. And you come back to India, they'll make you do it again. So these kind of little hassles are there, which will be there for a few more months until we see almost the end of COVID. Right now, the world is in a situation where it seems to be kind of settling down, but we've been fooled so many times that I will not say, oh, it's all over, we can start celebrating. We can't do that. For a few more months, I would say another 3 to 4 months, let's all continue to be aware of the mask. Meanwhile, get yourself vaccinated, because once you're vaccinated, chances of you dying due to COVID is 0.000000001%. It's almost unheard of, unless something unfortunate happened to you. So first of all, get yourself vaccinated. So the death part, you're almost covered. You may still get COVID, like getting a cold, or you cannot prevent yourself getting a cold. If you have an AC on, you'll get a cold. So something like that, it'll come and it will go. As soon as possible, if our children can also get vaccinated, then the last piece of the puzzle is also solved. The last mutations happened almost a year ago. It was in November last year. After that, no big mutations have come. That means if something was to happen, by now it should have happened. So everything seems to be moving in the right direction. All the pandemics in the past have taken 2.5 years. This is just coming up to 2 years now. When you finish December, January, it will be coming up to 2 years. So this is about the time when it should start going. And last time for the other pandemics, they didn't have vaccination. Now we got vaccination. So I think it will definitely end with Swami's grace, but you have to be patient, continue to take the precautions, and let's wait. Having waited this long, another 2-3 months, I think after January, February, you'll find people traveling a lot. If there's no big spike and hundreds and thousands of deaths, if they happen, then it may set you back by a few months. But if that doesn't happen with Swami's grace, it's all pray to him. I think by the end of this year, slowly it will be over. And then by January, February, March, it will start moving. Already people have started, airlines have started opening up. All in the UK, if you take, everything is open. Bars are open, hospitals are open, this is open, clinics are open, restaurants are open, hotels are open. Everything is open. And I believe in the UK, outside, they don't even wear mask. Inside, in a room, closed room, everybody wears a mask. But outside, nobody is even wearing a mask now. So they have come to that stage. That's not that after that, thousands more died. It didn't happen. That means it's getting over. Slowly, it's getting over. It's taken time. Any pandemic takes of this nature comes only once in 100 years, 200 years. It takes 2.5 years for. So ultimately, everybody has to be vaccinated or everybody has to get infected. Otherwise, it's not going to go.
Thank you.
Sairam,
We call it a day. I think we've crossed
yes,
the
yes.
8:30 limit. So
Sorry. Sairam, Dr. V. Mohan, on behalf of the Kansas Eye Center, we would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for sharing such divine glimpses of Swami's divinity. Next, we'll be doing Mahamrityunjay Mantram 3 times, followed by Harati and Vibhuti prayer.
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मङ्गलहारति। ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धव ॐ जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयु मेरे स्वामी मरियन्तयु मेरे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्र शयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी वो साई महादेव सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल हारति अंदुको मंगल हारतुलंदुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा साई नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा साई नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा ओम शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्ष प्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं idamaśhrayami. Sacred, holy, and supreme is Baba's vibhuti, pouring forth in brilliant streams, display of vibhuti. So auspicious is its might, it grants liberation. Baba's vibhuti, its power protects us. Paramam pavitram Baba vibhutim Paramam vichitram Veena vibhutim Paramartha ishtartha moksha pradhanam Baba vibhutim Idamashrayami Sai Baba vibhutim Idamashrayami Om Om